was out the house the other day.
I don't believe you. Your walks don't count, nigga.
Nah, nigga, I was I was in Laurel.
Yeah, nigga, that don't count.
There ain't no
either.
walk.
Going back. What up, Benny?
Hey, what up, Benny? I do that walk, boy. I am the man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nigga, talk about that would be a good workout.
Yo, that's some shit. Me and wife was actually talking about that the other day too, about the whole walking thing. Mm-hmm. You know, we all getting older, and you can't always do the shit that you used to do when you was in your 20s and shit.
Sure.
But so she was telling me about that when she went to Egypt and how much walking they had to do. What up, Fabo? How much walking they had to do and shit. And she said, like, yeah, you know, every day it was almost like a 3-hour walk and stuff. And I'm sitting here listening, right? And so I can do 3 hours standing on my fucking head, right? And I told her, I was like, you know what? I'm definitely the odd duck.
What up, Discord?
Because of what up, Discord? Because of my brother Marlon and my brother Lance. Mm-hmm. Because they were some walking niggas, and I went with them. And bro, we are just. I'm talking. My brother could routinely walk from one end of Baltimore to the next, and I give a fuck about a bus coming and have money in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? With that dumbass bop. Like,
good morning, Stella.
What up, Stella? Right. So 3 hours? That ain't nigga.
Here's the thing.
That ain't nothing.
Here's the thing. I could do it. I'm not going to.
You sound like Sean.
Listen, because
I can do it.
You know I'm a walker too.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing a 3-hour joint. Not if I don't have to.
Yeah, joint.
Yeah, nah. I am dead tired, Discord. Like, sis. I am dead tired.
Is that part of your story today?
It's not a big thing. I'm gonna talk about it, but it's not a big thing. It ain't no shit like last time.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Last time niggas was wild.
Yeah, for real. For real, yo.
Oh god.
It's crazy.
What up, Lost? Let's get it started.
Let's get it in. All right. Me.
All right, nigga.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ.
You.
And I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. So as you know, those of you that maybe you took a break a week or two, wasn't here for some of the changes. One of the changes is, instead of us going into our week first, we handle the news.
Facts.
I never knew. So with that, I shall pass it on to my esteemed host.
Let's get the annoying, the upsetting one out, the most upsetting one out of the way. All right. Teen attempted drowning of black boy was, quote, horseplaying. The lawyer for a white teen in Cape Cod who faces charges for an alleged attempted drowning of a black boy told the Boston Globe the incident was horseplaying that got out of control. A grand jury indicted 14-year-old John Sheeran on charges of attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon over the July 19th incident in which he's accused of repeatedly dunking a black boy underwater despite the child saying he could not swim. The alleged victim, who hasn't been identified, accuses Sheeran of luring him out to a goose pond in Chatham, Massachusetts, and trying to drown him while another boy laughed and called him George Floyd. The victim claimed Sheeran was his friend. Other teens at the pond have provided witness statements saying a boy in fact said George Floyd and laughed as the black child yelled he couldn't breathe, according to NBC 10 Boston, which obtained police statements. On Monday, September 11th, Despite facing attempted murder charges, a judge allowed Sharon to be released into the custody of his father.
Did they give an age on the kids?
14.
Okay.
The defendant is 14. The names of the alleged victim and minor witnesses have been redacted. Prosecutors have classified Sharon as a youthful offender, which allows them to publicize his name. It also means they're seeking an adult sentence for the 14-year-old. Meanwhile, Sharon's attorney downplayed the severity of the alleged incident, vowing to appeal the indictment. In an interview with the Boston Globe, attorney Kevin Reddington called the charges against his client over the top. He referred to the black boy's cries of "I can't swim" and "I can't breathe" and "help" as horseplaying, and said he would appeal the indictment to the Superior Court. Meanwhile, youth witnesses described the teen's alleged attempted drowning differently. Hey. The alleged victim gave a statement to police saying Sharon and his friend started laughing and calling me George Floyd, obviously making fun of me and showing no remorse. A witness who says they swam over to help the boy claimed they saw Sharon and his friend dunking the boy's head underwater repeatedly while he was screaming for help. He says, when I finally got to them, they were smirking. Another witness told police, I couldn't make out the words, but I eventually saw them on top of him, holding him underwater. I don't know who said it, but I recall one of them saying George Floyd. That's all of this.
Okay. Couple of things, right? First, I love the attempt at turning this into boys will be boys. Do you know how toxic?
Oh my God!
And how many offenses that have been, that sort of thing has been used to cover up over the years.
From murder to rape.
From murder to rape.
And everything in between.
Horseplay. Well, I've never seen horses play like that.
No.
I've never seen horses play like that. And also, somebody luring you to a place called Goose Pond. Yeah, they was up to
listen.
They was up to some bullshit, bro.
Geese in the face.
Geese? My nigga, geese?
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Something I wanted to read something that Stella said. I'm a firm believer that in cases like this, the parent should be charged to some degree.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that take as well. While listen, as a parent, there are some. Your kid gets a piece of you, a piece of their mom.
Your child is a human.
A big piece of themselves, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be times they're going to do things that they were not taught to do.
Yeah.
Be involved with shit
There
like that.
absolutely going to be things that in their development that are outside of your control.
However, when you have something as egregious,
bro.
Like you're not telling me that some of that callous disregard for human life wasn't learned.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. That's so I agree with that sentiment right there. Like, now it might be difficult to prove, like Cosmic said, attempted murder, and if the parents incentivized it in any way,
right,
they should get something too. Yeah, I agree. You know what I'm saying? That they gotta work that shit out in court, but
Sis says, wait a minute, seeking but not yet tried and convicted as an adult, so why are they treating him as such prematurely? Now, I don't know if you didn't hear this part or if this doesn't answer your question.
Right.
But it says the names of the alleged victim and the minor witnesses have been redacted. Prosecutors have classified Sharon as a youthful offender, which allows them to publicize his name. So I don't know if that helps or not. That's all the info that the article gives.
Yeah, it's boy. This motherfucker said horseplay, but you know what? That's as toxic and trash as this. That's the defense attorney.
I mean, that's his job. Yeah, I mean, I always hate shit like this because he wouldn't be worth anything if he wasn't trying to do that.
He need like that he would be negligent And that'd be malpractice if he just tried to throw every fucking thing up he could.
Very true.
And this is what makes it a very just unseemly business.
Yeah, very much so.
Know, very unseemly. But at the same time, it's one of these things where it's a necessary evil, because if you're innocent, you're going to want your attorney to throw everything
absolutely,
and making sure you don't go to jail or get the death penalty, something like that. But
1,000%
does not change the fact that with we know that we need it. That doesn't mean that we can't be looking at some of these defense attorneys with the side eye, like fuck, horseplay, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Man, the thing that I'm wondering about is two questions. One, are you supposed to take minors' eyewitness report as the same as adults? And is it realistic to expect a jury to?
Right.
Because just based on this little bit of information, there were no adults to be found.
Right.
So that I'm a little curious about. Like, how does that actually work? Even though it doesn't seem like there's anybody saying anything to the contrary. But, and like somebody said, I don't remember who it was, I barely caught the comment, but where's his friend?
Yeah.
Where's this friend that helped him do this? Because the article doesn't really mention him except that he helped.
Right.
So I'm kind of curious about that one.
And wait a minute, they said he swam over there, right? Was he on his Aquaman shit?
Shut up. No, I don't think. No, I don't think he swam over there.
Oh, damn.
Oh no, the people that helped.
Yeah, the people that helped.
Yes, absolutely.
It was on the Aquaman shit.
Listen, and this is a scenario where it probably doesn't matter, but again, I'm curious of the racial makeup of the rest of the people in the vicinity. I would like to know, just for my own. I would like to see what that was like. Yeah.
I'd definitely be interested in seeing how that dynamic played out. But again, when they lure you away to some place called Goose Pond,
I mean,
is premeditation.
Yeah, like what? I don't know. All I know is this angers me, and I saw it, and I was like, we gotta say something about this.
Wow, yeah, exactly, sis. And they called him George Floyd while drowning him. Come on now. Come on.
Bruh. Like, literally, one of the accounts was like, he said he can't breathe, and then they started calling him George Floyd. Like, bruh. Like, I don't know. But again, like I said, are you supposed to take eyewitness accounts from children the same as adults? And is it realistic to expect a jury to do so?
Yeah, and plus, eyewitness accounts a lot of time are really bad.
Yes.
Anybody, adult
right,
or male,
right?
I mean, adult or child. So, yeah, it's hard to say, bro. It really is.
Yo, facts, sis. She said premeditation from them Lord of the Flies asses. Yo, that is giving Lord of the Flies vibes. I'm just saying, like,
it is though,
bruh. Like, what the fuck? Oh, man.
Oh my!
All right. Moving on from this because I don't like it here. So Kevin Hart catches heat after a resurfaced clip shows him saying people in the hood aren't smart enough to have bank accounts. Kevin Hart has amassed a fortune off
joking
his.
though, right?
Well, He's amassed a fortune off of his creativity, and as his star continues to rise, he has been reminded time and time again that his words can resurface at any given moment. In the past, Hart has missed out on opportunities such as hosting the Oscars for a controversial joke that made some fans feel ostracized and ridiculed. He is again receiving flack for a similar situation, only this time his comments didn't involve a punchline. Okay, let me add an amendment right here, because any good... Oh, this is the Atlanta Black Star. This is interesting. I'm kind of... I don't know. I haven't looked at enough of their work to know where they lean, but I don't like the way that paragraph was painted. Kevin Hart did not miss out on hosting the Oscars for a controversial joke that made some fans feel ostracized and ridiculed that resurfaced. He missed out on this opportunity to host the Oscars for failure to apologize publicly for the trash comments and jokes that he made that people were now seeing.
Yeah.
There's a difference. There's a difference. The comedian became a trending topic on September 26th as a clip pulled from Hart's 2021 appearance at the 10X Growth Conference hosted by Grant Cardone began circulating. In the video, Kevin Hart attempts to address how the government and big business exploit the lack of financial literacy in low-income communities. Quote, "If you look in the hood, there's liquor stores and check cashing places. You know why? Because they know the people in the hood aren't smart enough to open up bank accounts. They're going to get a check, they're going to cash it, and it's a liquor store right next to it. Let's just put that around them. Let's also put a bunch of shit that's easy and cash available. We don't want you to gain credit. We want you to be cash driven. That's how we keep the poor. It's not until you understand that you get out." So, one one Twitter user, I refuse. One Twitter user reacted to the post saying Hart had a real "I forgot where I came from" moment. The social media user added that his commentary was very much a response without acknowledging facts, and that some folks leave the hood and altogether forget the plight. Another user wrote, "I need people to stop blaming us for systemic oppression. We aren't the ones that opened the liquor stores or opened all the payday loan places." On Instagram, a user commented, "Doesn't he have an alcohol company?" Hart has a reported net worth of about $450 million. He's also a co-founder of Heartbeat, a multimedia entertainment company that has an estimated valuation of $650 million. In 2022, the budding mogul launched his tequila brand, Gran Caramino, in partnership with Juan Domingo Beckham, an 11th generation tequila producer. I'm not reading the rest of this. It's just bigging him up.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I hate when motherfuckers do shit like this, because it is such an exhaustive bit of labor to have an understanding of the things that took place that create a situation like the situation you'll find in a lot of these poor Black communities, right?
Yeah.
Because every Black community isn't poor. That's
correct. Yeah.
We're talking about the urban centers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he specifically said
we're talking about the urban centers. There is, you would have, it would, for a lot of people who haven't done the work, if you was to start to do the work now, you would learn a lot more, but you would still have to literally read a lot of shit for a long period of time to understand the nature of why certain communities are the way they are, and truthfully why people are. When I see people relegate that shit to something as simple and non-nuanced as they're not smart enough to have bank accounts.
I'm glad you said it that way.
It's like you are obviously so invested in thinking that you are that one nigga in 140,000. That you are, I'm the exception. I'm the, not me though. I'm but you willing to
other yourself.
Yeah, you're othering yourself for your own self-aggrandizement.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody would see that as a virtue. When as soon as you see somebody doing that, right? Like, what? You know how we come on the show every week and talk about how if you walk in the room and we the smartest ones there, leave,
bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you said,
here's my thing. This nigga just don't know when to not say something.
Right.
Like, his fucking statement wouldn't be that bad if he didn't include the not smart enough part.
Right.
Because even though that's not the holistic answer,
right,
it's a part of it.
Yeah.
The rest of what he said, not smart enough part. The rest of what he said is absolutely a part of it. It's just that when you start talking about people not smart enough to open bank accounts, nigga, what do you? No, what? That's not how that works.
Right.
If you had the bank in the community where it was accessible, a lot more of them would open bank accounts. It's an issue of several things. One of them is proximity. like what do we? Luckily, this is happening now and not several years ago. Several years ago, I would be flabbergasted because how can somebody so smart say something so dumb?
but
now,
listen, what's crazy about nowadays, right? What's crazy about nowadays is you no longer have the expectation that someone is going to say something smart.
No.
The expectation now is, boy, this person's gonna really make a jackass out themselves.
Bruh.
So that when they don't, you are
pleasantly surprised, yeah. Okay, hold on. There's a little back and forth going on. I think there's a little bit of confusion in the comments. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I might have said it by mistake. Mm-hmm. That article does not
use Johnny?
the word. What up? That article does not use the words ATM.
No.
I don't think I said it, but if I said it by mistake, it was an absolute mistake. That article does not mention ATMs. His argument, and again, it is a part of the truth, except for the people who are not smart enough part. Right. His argument is that in the hood, there's a bunch of check cashing places, payday loan places, and liquor stores.
These places
aren't beneficial to the community, is the point that he's making. And that's the argument.
It helps to reinforce poor financial habits. But also the reason that you don't see a lot of black banks, quite frankly, is that a lot of them don't have access to the same amount of capital.
Yeah, they don't get funding.
If you do have those banks in there, they're not giving out any loans or not a significant amount of loans to the people that live in that community. Because a big bank that has access to a bunch of capital can absorb a few bad loans. A small bank that doesn't, you'll ruin it. It'll be done.
Oh, it's over.
You know what I'm saying?
It's absolutely.
And you know what it is? It's also part and parcel. And this is what people are gonna have to at some point acknowledge. If there's any legitimate hope for any of this to be resolved, this is a direct reflection of the way this place was set up.
Oh, yeah.
And how certain groups were by giving them a lack of access for decades to centuries are going to be behind in some shit. And unless you're willing to do a massive overhaul, right, to try to bring things up to at least an even playing field, it's going to always be that way. Sure, you'll have individuals that will do really well, but for the large swath of the population, it's still going to be the same thing, because whichever demographic was the one that continued to move unabated, they're not going to stop. Yeah. They never stopped.
Yeah.
So if they're moving and doing this and entrenching their wealth and control and all that other stuff, and they've been doing that for fucking centuries, and then there was a period of time where the other group was like held in suspended animation.
Mm-hmm.
Even once you let them go and give them access, they're not going to all of a sudden overnight get to that point. It's always going to be a source of contention, because these people are always going to be behind the 8 ball and see everybody else, and the numbers are always going to look crazy. They're always going to look crazy. unless it's addressed in a holistic way. And I got to say, a lot of the ways that they've attempted to address it over years have decidedly not been holistic. Have been patchwork shit. Oh, we're gonna do this. Oh, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Hey, there you see. And then the thing that's crazy, after getting dragged, kicking, screaming, lynching, fucking church bombings, to doing the right thing, the system wants a pat on the back for it.
Yo, I'm glad you said that though, because don't be the asshole that is going to confuse people not knowing that something is what's best for them or not good for them. Right.
It's not. That's not the same thing.
It's not that simple.
You got kids who weren't taught certain things, and they go to school, and they react and act a certain type of way based off of the limited stuff they were taught. And then the worst thing a teacher could do is say, this kid is just dumb, and not consider the factors that created this kid in the first place and how to reach them. And anytime we hear a teacher's doing that, we dig in their ass. Like, you are a teacher. It is your responsibility to find the thing.
Well, all right.
Kid.
That's funny that you say that, because I think we've had this conversation. I don't know if we've talked about it on the show, but teacher is one of the hardest things to get right. Like, especially the younger ages. Like, bruh. So, like, I saw a teacher, and sure, he was a little animated. I'm sure he's passionate about it. He made a TikTok talking about, he did not say these words. 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 I want that to be clear, because I do not want. I'm going to say these words just as a. Yeah, no, he did not say these words. But effectively, he was saying, like, these kids dumb because their parents aren't doing the part of the at-home part that is necessary to help contribute. And then you have the pandemic that happened, and that basically put a freeze on learning in a way. Because everybody isn't fucking internet secure.
That's true.
So there were people going to fucking fast food restaurants attempting to siphon some Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
And that may or may not have always worked, and all this other type of stuff. So, like, all of it needs to be taken into consideration when any changes are made. I just basically took the long route to say it needs to be a holistic approach.
You're right, bro. But you may have went around Dick's Bond to get it.
Right.
It's not. It still don't make it wrong. Like, there needs to be a holistic thing with it. Because it largely also depends on what your goal is. So if your goal is to catch people up to a point of learning a bit of societal responsibility for yourself and for your community. 2, getting them to the point where they're financially solvent, right? Where, yes, they're going to take a hit every so often. That's how the money game goes. But they have the knowledge and the access to mitigate some of those losses. That's one thing. If your goal is to, because these are two different things I'm about to say here. If your goal is to address past violations that resulted in a stripping of generational wealth, then yes, that's a money solution, and people should stop running away from that. Because here's the thing: if you got into a car accident and the person that hit you and fucked your car up was at fault, and he was found to be at fault, and he owes you money for he got to pay you restitution for your car, your pain, the suffering, and all that shit. There ain't a judge that's gonna say, you know what? You're right. He violated you. He destroyed your property, and he helped to cause you pain. And you should really be getting compensated for this. But I'm not going to do it because you don't know how to balance your checkbook. No judge says that. No judge says don't say that. Like, look, nigga, what you do with your restitution on your own. But this guy owes what he did. He damaged you, right?
Yeah, we're gonna hold this. I mean, the rare case obviously is like conservatorships, but outside of that, yeah, nobody's gonna fucking come on now, because that's not how it works. Justice is supposed to be. Yeah. Justice is justice.
Right.
So, whatever you about to do with this,
I ain't got nothing to do with that. My job was to see that the justice was filled. Like,
my job is to make you whole.
Right. That's somebody else's job to make sure.
How long you stay whole is ain't got shit to do with me, bro.
Not to be stupid with your money and shit. But,
yeah.
Kevin,
I think this was just an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
He just shut up sometimes. Like,
and this is the thing. One more thing on that before we depart and go someplace else. Kevin, there are times you come off as severely media trained, man. You remember that whole era of time where you'll see him in these interviews and go, this is a smooth motherfucker, man. He managed to navigate some of the questions motherfuckers be asking him to try to get him jammed up and shit. It's always when you think nobody's watching you.
Bruh.
When your heads get jammed up.
When you finally let your guard down and feel safe.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Cause like, bruh, like, and here's the thing. I feel bad for him for this one.
Lost said about blanks.
Oh, yeah. I feel bad for him about this one. Only because he absolutely had good intentions. Yeah. He wasn't trying to call people stupid. Yeah, like that's not what he was trying to do, but nigga, you gotta hold this. Yeah, you gotta hold this out. Like, you gotta understand. Like, I can't say read the room because he was
outside. But look,
here's the thing. Yeah, he was outside. Like, he was, but it's like what he was attempting to do is commendable.
Yes.
It just didn't work.
Right.
Because he was in a white space. He was trying to put forth like, hey, this ain't necessarily my people's fault. It's the system, but he just didn't say it that way.
Yeah. I mean, he used shorthand.
Oh my god! Too shorthand, because people clearly missed the point because of you.
Yeah,
you were confusing, sir.
Exactly.
It wasn't that they didn't understand you.
Right.
All right. Let me talk about this real quick. I ain't even got a banner for it.
You ain't got a banner?
Godfrey.
Uh-oh. What'd he say? What'd he say?
So, let me see if I got it, because this nigga, you know how you be wanting to like somebody?
I know,
you be wanting to like somebody.
I know what you're saying about that with Godfrey, because I really do be wanting to like Godfrey.
Bruh, I be wanting to root for him, because like,
sometimes
I've seen him like, that's what I'm about to say. I've seen him put foot down and stand on certain things, and then
my man Nigerian too. So I'm trying to give him, you know what I'm saying, like,
bruh,
you know what I'm saying.
But then you
yeah.
But then you hear things like what I'm about to play for you guys.
Uh-oh.
This is in reference to the young lady who was allegedly attacked with the brick.
Oh, boy.
All right.
She's a horrible human being. And in blaming black men, we already have enough problems. Why would you create this whole thing that black women don't need men and black men are tired of black women? I think it's all propaganda. This is propagated by this. Paid for it. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, clearly she got 41 grand for pulling this before. Yeah, she's a lying and taking people's money, you, and then blaming black men and putting us in trouble. I would have sidekicked you in the back. She would have been crying with a hump on her back. It was me. She slapped me, and then I Bruce Lee in Return of the Dragon kicked her in her spine.
So
one of those other voices sounds very familiar to me. Like,
I don't know the other guy.
I think that guy. He sounds like one of the guys that from time to time is on TYT. He really does.
That would suck.
Yeah, he really sounds like. Maybe it's not him, but that. Oh my goodness.
Hopefully, it's not him.
Affectation,
So obviously, this got his head kicked in. He was obviously attacked. Rightfully. Oh yeah. So after this had gotten his head kicked in, and he caught wind of said head being kicked in.
I'm going to hold people accountable when this girl ends up being, when stuff comes out about her lying, because how come she hasn't made a video in a couple of past weeks? She hasn't said anything. She has a big mouth. She talks all day, every day, and all of a sudden, she's been quiet. Why? Because something's going on. And I'm going to wait, and you guys can keep trolling, you grown women, acting like teenagers, trolling me because you ain't got no business, or probably not a man either. Most of y'all that are talking smack to me ain't got no dude. So, and you're average looking half of you that are trolling me. All the fine girls ain't trolling me. They're not saying anything because men like them. The women that are fly don't troll because they got a man, things are going good. That's facts. All the ones that troll me, I look at their pages, I go, really? I wouldn't even talk to you. Yeah, I'm just being honest. Anybody that's talking smack to me is usually out of shape, average looking, overweight. I'm telling you, I'm being serious. Any girl that's dope is not on here trolling me because they're fly and dudes are actually paying attention to them. I'm telling the truth. And it would be, so you would be somebody I wouldn't even look at in the street. I already know that. I wouldn't even see you at the gym because that's where I'm going. Girls that troll like you don't go to the gym. They don't work out. Because if you work out, that means you have a positive energy flowing through your body. But most of y'all sit there and eat sedentary in an office, all poisoned up with bad food, bad attitude. So.
That was Andrew Tate-esque.
Nigga! I'm like,
Godfrey.
You've been called out for shit before and you've corrected it.
I think that day is over. That day is past.
Apparently.
What I have noticed that there is a metamorphosis taking place. And to be clear, there are variations of his sentiment throughout a lot of mandom. What happens is,
absolutely,
you get these concentrated doses of that, and then what happens is that then people will wrongfully apply all of that in that ball right there to all the guys.
Yep.
The reason why you shouldn't do that is not for the guys' benefit. It's for the benefit of the discussion. Because we need to be able to decipher.
You need to be able to differentiate.
And differentiate, definitely. But we have to be able to apply what applies to who it applies to in order to fix that and directly target those things. If you say that all of them are like this ball of this, instead of targeting the specific things that this individual over here has actually said or done, you're not really going to help, because then they get the excuse to ignore what you're saying because I don't be doing all that. And a lot of them are trapped in this idea that I'm not that guy, so I'm not. No, they're varying degrees, motherfucker. So certain shit that you're on is garbage. Maybe you're not on that other garbage shit.
Right.
Same with me. Just using myself as an example. There's a lot of that garbage shit that I'm not on, but there's a few of those garbage things that I know I absolutely have been on. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to recognize that stuff within yourself.
Yes.
But most people aren't going to be able to do it, because once you come at them with "you're this," and take that whole Godfrey spiel and say that's you too. No, he's probably 5% of what Godfrey is right here. Yeah. He's probably 10%. He might be 2%. Right. He might be 50%. But you got to be able to target that, because if you don't, you're going to give these people an excuse to ignore everything you said, and not address any of that shit.
Correct. Because there are, like, pretty much any stimulus that you receive, you can have several different reactions to it.
Right.
So there are people that might be good people in general, and if you accuse them of not being good people, there are absolutely some that will just ignore it. There are absolutely some that will just brush it off. But there are absolutely some that will take offense to it. And will be less likely to listen, or will be less likely to be helpful. And you can't. Like, it's easy to say that those that will take that route weren't good people in the first place, but
Sometimes you can make that argument, sometimes you can't.
Yeah, like that's the easy answer for that. Fact. Is well, they weren't good in the first place if they or they don't like getting their fucking leg pissed on and told it was raining. Like I just but yes, it is it's very dangerous to specifically generalize.
It also
in a
what
lot
it
of
does
situations.
It gives guys with that whole ball sentiment. By the way, who he literally said his mouth, he's not joking. So he can take that comedian angle off the table because I know that's what a lot of people are trying to do. They go, "Oh, he's a comedian, say things." No, excuse me. He said he wasn't joking. So
correct.
Like don't try to be a bullet shield for him by saying that that something he was doing that he specifically says he wasn't doing. Yeah. But that's the thing about it. Like that shit there allows him to continue with the bullshit and to indoctrinate more people with the bullshit. You know, because this remember that skit in one of Ice Cube's albums where it started off, "This is what they think about you." And he played all of these clips of them talking trash about black people and black communities. That's literally what people like Godfrey would be able to do when you take that and try to apply this whole thing to all of them. It's like, here's what they think about you.
Yeah.
And weaker-minded men will latch onto that and get this victim complex and run around here with that chip on their shoulder that don't really help nobody, especially themselves.
Correct. Yeah, there's no way around it, and it's annoying. It's so annoying.
It is.
It's depressing. Like
it's ass.
Yo. Like, what did we do? Like, seriously, like you a whole grown ass man who's been quoted on video talking about how great the black woman is and blah blah this and blah blah that, and then this scenario happens and you like have a complete heel turn, like
right.
And then it's always the double down.
Yes, yo.
It's always the double down. Like, what is wrong with you idiots?
Well,
if people are calling you out en masse, even if you are right, it probably behooves you to leave it alone.
Just drop it. But again, at the same time, though, bro, people are obstinate as fuck about a lot. And a lot of times, what doesn't help too is when they can point at examples where people did do exactly what we're suggesting, and people wouldn't let it. They wouldn't.
Sure, absolutely.
They go, "Yo, whether you do or you don't, you damned if you do or damned if you don't." And once that mentality set like cements in, it's hard to get people just to acknowledge that they fucked up.
And really, the answer to that is maybe, because sure, is it possible that if you just leave it alone, it'll just keep going? Yes. But it's also possible that the shit will just die down eventually. Like,
that's it, yeah, like yo, and also for yourself, like for a lot of this stuff, is two priorities that I see going here. The people that you did what you did to, they're prioritized first,
right?
And then yourself, because the goal should be, even if it's something you can never attain, your reach should always exceed your grasp.
Yeah,
for you to be a better person, more understanding person. We all gonna fall short of that,
of course,
because I can be a real jackass, but at the same time, I can also not be that.
Correct, right.
And the more you learn how to not be that, you're the jackass a lot less.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And how can that be bad? Like, how can that be bad to be a jackass less of the time?
Yeah, bro. Like, really, the only time being a jackass is wholly beneficial is if you're in some type of protection or defense mode. Outside of that, there's very little merit to it. Like,
yeah. Like, I said, you know what I would say? I would say that there's you keep that jackass behind the gate.
Facts.
Until it's time to let the jackass out the gate. because we live in an imperfect world. You're dealing with people at times who are very flawed and make wrong decisions, and sometimes their wrong decisions hurt you or somebody you care about.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to make a decision to unlock the gate and let the jackass out, right?
Right.
The whole goal for you should be to be able to discern when those times are appropriate. And you're not gonna always get it right, because I don't always get it right either.
Nobody's always gets it right.
But
it's not realistic.
It's not realistic, but I do have certain things that I stand on. If you fuck with my family, if you fuck with my kids, if you attempt to do any shenanigans that affects my business in ways that could end it,
right?
then yeah, you're gonna see the jackass.
Yeah,
you're gonna see the jackass. But I can't even lie. There are times where he just seems to jump the gate.
Yeah. No, real shit.
Sometimes you just jump the gate.
Yeah, absolutely.
What up, free thinker?
What up? Yeah, no, that's realistic. That kind of happened to a lower extent last night. I'll get into that later. But actually, yeah,
Sean P. Decisions. So, do you have a longie?
Oh, nigga.
I don't have a longie, but I do have stuff to.
No, go ahead, cause nigga.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I got more of the books this week. The bulk of them came in this week. I'm still waiting on the issue 1 extended version and the issue 1 metal. Still waiting on those, but all the standard ones, they came in, which is good news, because now we can set it up so that people can get this shit, and we're going to be doing fulfillment from off of our online store, Shopify store. Basically, you'll get a survey, so keep checking your Kickstarter profile. When I put the surveys out, and I'm doing tier at a time. I've already done the digital tier. And now we're going into the printed book tier. So on the survey, put your shipping address on there as a backup, right? Just in case something goes wrong with the Shopify thing. Also, if you purchased a variant alternate cover, put the letter designation of that cover. And if you forgot what that is, I put an update last night on the Kickstarter campaign page. I mean, in the update section, and I have a picture of all of the alternate versions and their letter designation. So look at that. Put that on there. You're going to be on that survey. You'll have a link to what you purchased and supported for, along with a 100% coupon. So you're going to pay none of that shit. However, some of the Kickstarter tiers some of the Kickstarter tiers included the cost of shipping with the tiers. Some of them didn't. We know exactly which ones did and which ones did not. So some of you will go to the website to get your thing and still have to pay shipping costs because you weren't charged the shipping when you supported the tier initially. One of the reasons we're doing it this way this time is because this makes it simpler on us to get the labels. If we just do it like the shipping labels, if we just do it through the store, that makes things a lot more efficient. And we're much more able to catalog all of these addresses. So if something bad happens and shit, we can address it more readily, right? That's what we're trying to do. Get better with that customer service shit, because that is a big deal. But yeah, so we're moving along with that. The Kickstarter campaign for the next book is fastly approaching. We have a tentative date, but that could change depending on where we are. So letting you know that. The 2 metal cover options. Wait a minute. Yeah, there are 2 metal cover options. That was part of the tier. So if you ordered those, you'll get that. On to the other stuff. I will revisit that again, by the way, to keep everybody informed. But so you guys remember when I told you about our HVAC and how we've been having issues with the HVAC?
How could any of us forget?
Hottest month of summer.
It's only been happening all summer.
No AC. Yikes. Now we are fastly approaching the colder.
All right, Cosmic.
See, look, what up, Cosmic? It's about here.
Yeah.
Right, peace. We're fastly approaching the cold weather season, and this HVAC, which is responsible for keeping us cool, has to also be responsible for keeping us warm. Couple of things took place this week. Couple of revelations, so to speak. So, they initially said that the reason the thing went down was because of one particular part. Got to get that fixed. Then they discover, oh no, it wasn't just that part. It was a circuit board. And mind you, this thing is new. That whole system is new.
Yeah. What, a year old?
It wasn't even a year old when this shit went up. All right. So, right, Sean B. The saga continues. So why would that have messed up that bad? And it's only been a year since we've had it. Toby knew.
These are the tough questions.
These are the tough questions indeed. So the guy comes in to fix it. They get the board because they think that the reason the other piece stopped is because the circuit board thing was screwed up and it wasn't getting power, and that's why it didn't work. So if they fix this part, then perhaps the other part will just start working again. It just needed a new circuit thing there.
Well, all right. Before you even finish that, while I understand the logic behind that, the slight problem with that logic is that if it was a situation where the circuit board messed it up,
right,
then it's messed up. The circuit board being fixed isn't going to make it work.
Well, this is the thing. This is what I said as well. But what was told to me was that the other piece isn't necessarily messed up. It just stopped working.
Okay.
And maybe it stopped working because the circuit board wasn't giving it the power or whatever, because it wasn't some shit. Okay. But they still ordered the other part too. So that's allegedly coming. We'll see that March 2026 sometime. Whatever. Right?
Yo, imagine this. You're in Panama. There's a cool breeze, the smell of salt water in the air, and you get a text message. Your part has successfully been delivered to you.
Well, here's the issue with that. That would be ass, but my mother-in-law still be here, so.
Hey.
So the guy comes in. Circuit board part comes first, of course, because that wasn't on back order. The guy comes and he puts it together, and what he notices is that there is a constant drip, at least when he saw it, coming from the pipes on top of the circuit.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Here's the thing. When he pulled the shit out, he saw the rust and all of the. He surmised, hey, this shit right here probably caused this shit right here.
Right.
So I installed it, but I'm not turning it on. And he covered all that with plastic. Said, y'all gotta get a plumber.
Yikes.
3 different plumbers came in.
Fuck.
One plumber came in, looked upstairs, first starting with the kitchen, because that theoretically is where the water, every time that sink upstairs in the kitchen gets full or whatever, and you use a garbage disposal, whatever, that comes down, water goes down that pipe, bam. He cut a hole underneath the sink to see if he could see pipes being asked. There is no water falling up there. It's all coming down here. But also, because this is an old house, the way they put pipes in back then, it is not easy to see the entire pipeline. And on top of that, they use copper pipes, which are not good. They're not good. So, couldn't tell. Another guy comes in. Same thing. But the consensus is there's definitely something going on right along that pipeline. We just can't see it or reach it to be able to fix it. So finally, the last plumber, an old guy, walks in the building. First two were young boys. Young bulls, as my Philly brothers would say. So old white guy comes in. He does what old guys do. They use their many, many years of experience to shortcut a lot of shit. He looked at the pipes down here, just above the circuit board part of the HVAC. He looked in the kitchen, and then he did this thing where he counted his steps from the kitchen around to the dining room to the hallway. And then through that hallway, he looked in my mother-in-law's bathroom. He looked in the kids' bathroom. Then he went back to the kitchen. Came out of the kitchen. I said, "What's the verdict?" He said, "You need a new house."
Yo, yikes.
I laughed because he said it in jest, but there's a lot of truth spoken in jest.
Nigga.
Right? So apparently what he's going to have to do in order to even
it's
get
going to be a huge cutout.
Pipe, he's got to go into the kids' bathroom, rip their toilet out.
I know it.
Just to get behind the tub and shower thing, right? To be able to see those pipes. And he didn't mention the kitchen, but it's entirely possible.
Yeah, it could be
that we could be Sam's kitchen.
Yeah.
Real
quick though. What's up with your landlord and his band of merry maintenance men?
This is the first time that professionals actually came in here. Because one thing I say about those young bulls that came in, they worked for a plumbing company.
They knew what they were doing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I actually was having this conversation with the family as well. So there's a philosophy that certain landlords have that is 100% backwards, but it does not prevent them from holding it. The philosophy is that I'm trying to save money. So that means, something's wrong with this? Let me patch that. I just saved money. Oh, wait a minute. Something's wrong with this? I'm going to patch that. I just saved money. What they're not understanding is that right before somebody moves into your place, before they come in there looking to see whether or not this is a place that should be, that is just livable, you should be going through the entire bones of that house and making sure that all of those things have been observed, looked at, taken care of. It's going to cost you on the front end, but it's going to save you on the back end, because when one thing breaks, it can eventually affect something else, which eventually affects something else. And before you know it, all that patch shit that you're doing, all it's wound up doing is costing you more money, because the catastrophic stacking of all of these damages is going to break the bank. And now we are here. What is that shit Thanos said in Infinity War when he said, and now it's here, or should I say, I'm here? We are at the catastrophic part. We are in the end game now, because now that amount of work that they're going to have to do potentially is going to cost that landlord. And you know what's going to cost them even more money?
Yeah.
The fact that we're not paying you full rent until any of this shit.
Correct.
We already talked to him. We already got the commitment from him. Okay. Because money has already been spent. Money has already been spent on our behalf. And you get your rent. We had almost 5 years now. Yeah. You get your rent on time. No humming, no harm. That's not what we do. Right. The last place we lived, when we talked about moving, our landlord tried to convince us not to go. Right. You know why? Because it's hard as a motherfucker out here to get tenants who pay their rent on time, don't break up your shit, don't have wild parties, don't have drugs coming in your motherfucking house. Listen, it's hard as shit to find just some regular family unit in there just trying to live out their lives and do the shit that they do without trying to damage your fucking property and also pay their motherfucking rent. We ain't the problem.
Correct.
The problem is that philosophy he has as a landlord that I've seen in numerous other people. And it wasn't until I lived in Laurel where I saw it could be different. I had two landlords in Laurel. Because we lived in the middle of the block. That was one landlord. And then we moved at the end of the block.
Cyrus the Virus has
Cyrus the Virus in the building. So both of these, Peter and the other guy, they were great landlords. I mean, he could come over there to fix one thing, see something else, and go, wait a minute, that needs to be. Take that. Yeah. Then the other one went and got a management company so that they would come in and do their inspection. Make sure shit was straight, spandex tight. And neither one of these landlords wanted us to leave.
Right.
Because we ain't the problem, B. We ain't the problem. Right. Here on the Black Culture Geeks, we are part of the problem. We are part of this internet culture with motherfuckers running their mouth. We try to be responsible. You know what I'm saying?
But
I refuse to take us out of it. No, we're part of it. Talking heads, right? But in this particular case, we are not the problem. You, sir, are the problem. You and your philosophy of bringing your cousin's, niece's, father-in-law's brother to come here and fix some shit when he has no credentials in it, and he may have, when you were children, put a bike together, change the brakes on some shit, and you say, he's mechanically inclined. But what you're really thinking is he's gonna save me some money and he know how to use a screwdriver.
Facts.
Listen, that philosophy of waiting and patching this here, patching this there, and you know what the red flag should have been?
when you moved in?
No, when we first came and looked in here, everything looked cool. But when we moved in, what was the first thing that went up? The water heater. That was the red flag. Because why is that water heater going up? Sir, we just moved in here.
Right. And also, I'm so glad that you said water heater and not hot water heater.
This to somebody? You would have caught that. You'd have caught that.
Yeah.
You did not. You know what was another red flag? They had a table in here. Right in the second kitchen. Big wooden thing. Looked solid. Nice and shellacked. Went to move it. Legs went off. Just came off. Had to toss that out.
Oak ain't supposed to react like that.
No. You know what another red flag was?
The fig tree?
No. That we're going to get that. Yes. But no. I'm going to tell you why that, too. The second kitchen had a stove when we came in. We had some motherfuckers come in and check it. They was like, do not turn that son bitch on. Get that son bitch out of here.
Yo.
And replace it.
Yikes.
Red flag. Onto the fig tree, red flag. There was 2 fig trees in this backyard when we first came here. One of them was fully grown and giving forth fruit, sustenance for all who love fig Newtons. It was there. Also attracting wasps and bees. And squirrels love fucking figs.
I mean, I think it's fair to say squirrels love a lot of things.
Yeah, because they was eating my goddamn trash can.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The other fig tree was young sapling that was being grown in the middle of the yard. Now, at the time, I didn't know it was a fig tree. Landlord planted that too. Why is that a problem, you may ask? Well, you got to look at the way the backyard is and see the trees. So the fig tree is kind of tall. It's not super tall like an evergreen, but it's got some height to it.
Yeah.
It's going to get some height if this thing grows, definitely. But see, in the neighbor's yard, in the corner of their yard, there's a big-ass tree with leaves and branches that extend over into our yard and contribute to the shade that our yard gets various times of the day. It's massive. When I'm cutting the grass out there, I have to duck a lot of the time because of the way them branches are.
Yeah.
Where that sapling fig tree is planted, and it's growing. We've been for 5 years. I've seen it's growing. Where it's planted, it's inevitably going to collide with that other tree. It's inevitable. And the fact that this landlord didn't think about that before he planted that son of a bitch there is one of the biggest red flags.
Bruh.
So, you might want to know what the current status is.
Broke.
As of September 30th, 2023, we have no AC. We have no heat. We have leaky pipes. That the moment when you wash a couple of dishes upstairs in that kitchen, the water's gonna come down here over that shit. It's covered in plastic now, and we got these bucket thingies there to collect the water now. This is how your hero is living in 2020.
This is life for some reason.
This is life. This is where I'm at. When I lived in the hood, I had issues. When I left, I thought I had left those issues behind. Because I don't live in the hood anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
Correct.
After almost 40 years living in the hood, I stopped living in the hood and thought I left those things behind. But you see, landlords with this philosophy do not only exist in the hood. They just tend to get away with that shit in the hood, which is why you'll see some of them houses looking the way they are. People feel hopeless, like they can't do shit about it, so they just put up with it and shit. He got the wrong ones now.
Right.
So, what I need for all of you to do is support the Majestic Comics.
Facts.
I need you to share panels, pages,
contribute to Operation Exit Strategy,
and contribute to Operation Exit Strategy.
Yo, facts.
That's
facts.
And in return, we're going to give you some spectacular stories.
Absolutely.
Characters that you love, characters that you hate, characters that you'll love to hate. We'll give you all these things. But we gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do. And that, my friends, was my week.
Very intriguing, my kind sir. The bright side is you're not in jail.
Bright side.
Silver lining. Silver linings.
Just one other thing about that. The other night, bro, evening-ish, about 9, I was over in the old area, neighborhood, Ascot, and I'm sitting there looking around, going, "We shouldn't have left.
You should never have left.
We shouldn't have left."
Nope.
But anyway, yeah.
I mean, tis what tis. I don't even know what story I want to start with because this week,
Damn.
This week has been a doozy, my guy.
Oh no.
I guess I'll start with the work stuff. So, one of the vice presidents retired Friday.
Was it?
Shut up! It was not Dan Quayle. My job had a book, like one of those little. It's not quite a children's book, but it's one of those simple books that has very few words on each page, and they passed that around, and everybody was supposed to take a page and write something special to say about this vice president on her way out.
Right.
Here's the thing. I don't know that lady. I have worked on the same floor as her for 15 years.
Oh my.
I may have spent a total of 200 hours in her presence.
That's a long time, though, bro. Can you imagine?
Not in 15 years. No, nigga, in 15 years, I may have spent a total of 200. It's actually much less than that. That's a little over 66 episodes of this podcast.
Jeez.
And 200 is me stretching it. We used to do these monthly luncheons at work, and everybody in the downtown office basically had to attend. I included those. If I didn't speak to her during those though, so if you take them out, nah, nigga, fuck her. If I take them out of the amount, then the amount of time drops down to like probably 10, 15
Damn
hours.
it.
In 15 years that I've spent really in her presence, interacting with her in any shape or form. And that still might be me stretching it. Some might think that is just because she's a vice president. There's a tiny bit of validity to that. But again, we work on the same floor. There's probably only one other vice president in the company who I've spent less time with. And outside of my boss, obviously, she's the only other vice president that worked on my floor.
Can I ask you a question about that?
What up?
How do you get to be a vice president at this company?
I don't fucking know.
There seems to be quite a few vice presidents.
Nah, it ain't that many. It's like 6 or something like that.
For real?
But something like that. So then, on top of my very minimal amount of time that I've spent with her, she's not a pleasant person to be with.
Oh, no.
Oftentimes, she's one of those people who I refer to that will, like, enter a situation and not speak, or she will just enter a situation and just start talking about whatever issue she's having, disregarding whatever may be happening.
Conversation was, I hate that, bro.
She makes little comments that are just not appropriate to say to someone, especially if you don't have a rapport with them.
Yeah.
I can honestly say she is the only person in upper management who carries herself like she's more important than everybody else. Dang. There's more, but I'm not going to just sit here and drag her.
Maybe not everybody else, but is she more important than a significant number of people there?
I mean, she's a vice president. All of the vice presidents are.
Some of her perception is, in fact, true.
Here's the thing.
You don't have to be a jerk.
You're not supposed to carry yourself that way.
You don't have to be a jerk about
She's literally the only vice president who carries herself that way. None of the rest of them do that.
Does she call herself the president?
No, nigga.
Madam President, even though it's not really vice, but it's short.
No. There's more, but I'm not going to sit here and drag her. There's only one other vice president who I hate being around, let's just say he's the king of small talk. Anybody hearing this who knows him will know exactly who I'm talking about. I just hate being around him.
Small talk.
I just hate being around him because I hate small talk. Like, it's nothing.
Wait a minute.
Like,
so give me an example.
No, you don't understand.
This goddamn napalm.
That's funny. No, you don't understand. Fat Cyrus. Cyrus says maybe true that she's more important than others, but it doesn't mean she has to treat others. Yeah, absolutely. She don't have to treat other people like shit just because she's a vice president. Like, nobody gives a shit, lady.
I 100% mostly agree.
Yeah, like, nobody gives a shit. Like,
right, nobody.
Cool.
Really,
bro, like, no one cares that you're a vice president. Like, chill out. Like, it's cool. Like,
don't you understand? She's a vice.
Right,
president.
like,
Did you
nigga.
not hear?
No, like, I don't. So, but the small talk, dude, like, the problem is not him. That's an issue with me. I just hate small talk.
Right.
And it's always sports. And sports that I don't have any interest in.
Like croquet.
And teams that I have no interest in. Like, he'll act like just randomly. Like, so he has this thing. It's some ritual where he comes down to the first floor. He goes to the water dispenser. He fills up 2 glasses of water. He leaves them on top of the dispenser. He walks and goes into the kitchen. He makes a coffee. He comes back from the kitchen with his coffee, grabs his cups of water, and he goes back up to his office. So I caught him in the beginning of this tradition. I caught him when he was getting his water. I spoke to him. He spoke back. He said, "Oh, let me get these out of your way." He grabbed his waters. He took them with him. I knew, because I know I've been there for 15 years. I knew he was about to go to the kitchen, and I had to go to the kitchen. I was upset about this. So I go to the kitchen. I almost got out of there.
It was this close.
Yo, I'll
be quicker than that.
Close. And he was like, "Hey, did you see the Terps do something? I'm like, no, I did not. Oh, well, they blah blah.
Did you see the Baltimore Bastards? Bruh,
I don't watch college sports at all. I don't watch baseball. Like, I'm not
glad that you have an awareness of this from a personal perspective, because many people don't. And when I say to him, "Yo, yes, there was a period in my life where I was very interested in sport."
Mm-hmm.
My man Mitt Romney, sport. Those days aren't now. I don't watch it. I don't keep up unless it's something that has to do with something else that I'm kind of into.
Yeah,
it doesn't. So I get what it feels
really only watch the NFL.
Right.
And not even anywhere near as much as I used to.
Right.
So talking to me about anything else, please don't.
Yeah, there's
not interested
of conversations.
No, there's not. Let's just not. Let's not and say we did. Like, let's try that out. But anyway, so given all of that, clearly it was a struggle to come up with something to write in this book. The phrase "have the day you deserve."
The closest he gets to watching sports.
That's funny. The phrase "have the day you deserve" came to mind.
Oh, no.
That wasn't really applicable because it wasn't like we were talking about her birthday or something like that, and no isolated day. So then my mind changed that to "have the retirement you deserve." That was more applicable, but still not quite appropriate. So I settled on. Yeah, I know.
That's aggressive as a motherfucker.
God, bruh. So I settled on something like "all the best in your retirement. Hopefully it's exactly as relaxing and fun as it should be." I feel like I'm still saying what I want to say. Yeah. That gets my point across enough, but shouldn't cause any problems.
Agreed.
Okay. The company did a little retirement breakfast for her yesterday.
Did you go?
No, I didn't participate. More on that in a bit. The new person who is about to fill her duties isn't the greatest either. I see a few of the same exact traits in her. She's also the type on top of that that will tell you she's okay with something and then try to change it on her own. I hate that shit. Oh my God, I hate that shit. That's how things get messed up.
Yes,
and
very much.
That's how you piss my boss off. See, anybody who has the propensity to piss off my boss, I'm frankly not a fan of. To be clear, it doesn't take much to annoy my boss. Right. It's very easy to annoy my boss. Some people are just bound to do that. When she's annoyed, though, not much changes, except she might throw out a quick rant. That's cool, ain't understandable. When she's pissed, I now have to be more attentive and vigilant to her because I don't like when people get into it. I hate confrontation, and to avoid it, I just go ahead and take care of shit that I normally wouldn't be the first person in line to take care of. And that equals more work for me. I don't like that. Because of all of this, I don't like having to work in the new lady's office when she's in it. I was making a change that required something that we had to order. My boss is aware of and encourages my desire to work on things for her when she isn't there, the new lady. She wasn't in Monday. That was when I was supposed to make the change. I went to make the change. I got like 90% of it done. And then I realized I was missing one very important part, so I ordered it. It didn't get there until Thursday. I was hoping that she wouldn't be in Friday, so I could just do it then. Alas, she was in. I thought I would have to wait until Monday, which I wasn't sure if she just doesn't work on Mondays or if that was an outlier. I don't know. All of that was moot, though. I had forgotten about the retirement breakfast.
Oh, no.
When they called people down for the retirement breakfast, I realized that this was my window of opportunity because the new lady would be downstairs at the retirement party. So I could go in her office and fix what I have to fix and kill two birds with one stone by fixing her issue without her being there and not having to go to this retirement party.
You know, I have very rarely went into something to kill two birds in one stone, and managed to actually kill the two birds.
Bruh, it was amazing. It just shit just fell on my lap. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like, this is the perfect opportunity for me to achieve both things that I want.
Why did I just guess napalm on this dumbass? I mean,
listen, goddamn,
she's retiring.
Look, that's why I'm being as upfront as I am now because she leaving. Like, generally, I wouldn't talk about.
Left yet.
No, yesterday was the last day. Yesterday was the last day. So, like, to be honest, me being able to go into the new lady's office and fix her shit while she's not there was infinitely more important to me than celebrating this other lady's retirement.
No,
I ain't gonna hold you. So when my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, came back from the breakfast, I explained all of that to her. And her response was, yeah, I get all that, but if you're done, you should go ahead and grab some food because nobody's in the room where the food is at this point. I was like, oh.
And then mind you, folks, she said food.
I had no retort. Her argument was valid. Her logic was airtight. Who am I?
Hungry.
Who am I? Exactly. Exactly. I mean, the food wasn't great, but that's neither here nor there. It's just a thing.
I hate when that happens.
Bro, it's the worst. There's nothing you can do about it, though. All right. So I was hacked.
You were hacked?
I was hacked.
How?
And again, we going to do some learning, some teaching moments, because, like I said,
Cap's got to teach stuff.
Hey, listen, whenever I have one of these super long, super things that have been super effective, I got to make it into some type of teachable moment for the people. So I was chilling with Chrissy after the show last week. He's about to order some food, and I look at my one account, and there's like $60 in it. Now I think to myself, that's odd. There should be more money in there. But at the time, we were hungry, and it was the weekend, and I didn't have anything else I needed to spend money on until basically payday, right. I was going to look and see how I had spent so much money already on Sunday. But, you know, what's the worst that would have happened? Famous last words. Yeah, though me investigating it at that moment would not have saved anything. So to be clear, it wouldn't be it didn't get bad because I didn't check at that moment. So I just ordered food with a different account. Later on that night, after Chrissy left, I checked my email. Learning moment number 1. Make sure y'all are checking your email. I get way too many emails to have notifications on for every single one, so I just check them periodically throughout the day. Please make sure y'all checking your emails. Luckily, this isn't something I didn't do. I did do this one. So yeah, please make sure y'all check your emails. I tell my daughter that and my son that all the time. So check my email. I have an email from the site that I use to buy musical elements and stuff. The message said, "You have successfully deleted your account."
Wow.
Teachable moment number 2. This one didn't apply here either, but I just thought to add it in. If you get an email from a company and the contents of the email don't make sense, double check the actual email address the message is coming from. 9 times out of 10, if it is legit, it will be support or someone's name at insertcompanyname.com or .edu or .gov or whatever. Right. If you see a bunch of numbers and non-letter characters, it is not legit. Do not do anything with that email except for delete it. Please. But again, that's not applicable here. I already knew that. But just it makes sense with the story. Since this wasn't an email requesting me to do anything, though, I didn't have to do that. It wasn't asking me to do anything. It tell me, like, nigga, we shut your shit down. You asked for it. We did it. So I went to the site and tried to log in.
Hold on. This is the thing I want to know. Motherfucker hacks your shit. And then starts deleting.
Bro. Oh no, we're gonna get to it. Wow. No, this was actually genius on their part. So I get to the site, try to log in. Sure enough, I can't log in. I go back to my email. I search for the name of the company. I see 4 more emails from them. The first email that actually came through says that you have logged on from the Ukraine.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was email number 1.
And at first you were confused and it didn't seem much of a problem because you had just been to the Ukraine.
At first I was afraid. I was petrified. My bad. So the first one said, "You've successfully logged in from Ukraine." Allow me to assure you, found people out there listening, that based on how international travel works, there's absolutely no way I could have gone to Ukraine and made it home the same day after being on the podcast until like 2:30. Also, flights are currently restricted from U.S. to Ukraine.
Hey, man, you may have found a workaround.
Also, if you hear about me willingly going to a European country, trust that I've somehow been blackmailed. It's not my ministry. It's just not my ministry. The second email was that I had subscribed to one of the people who makes assets. The third email was, "Thank you for supporting this artist," type of email. The price on the preview, because before you click on it, you got a little preview. The price on the preview was like $10. Okay, now mind you, this is before I looked back at my bank account. Right. So last time I looked at my bank account, there was $60 in there. I'm like, okay, potentially maybe I had 70 and they took 10. I don't know. But then I opened the email, and it wasn't an email. It was a thread of like 15 purchases.
Whoa. From where?
That site.
So this is what we know about this person. They make beats.
I mean, nigga, I go back to my bank account, and now the available balance on that account was negative $300.
Yo!
Teachable moment number 3, and I know this one but sadly, I didn't apply it. Use a password manager and use two-factor authentication. The reason I hadn't done those things on this particular account is because I opened it before I started using those two things. And I don't use that site enough for it to ever have crossed my mind to make the change. Because none of these emails were support tickets, I went to see if I could create one on the site. Well, no, you can't create a support ticket unless you're signed in. So I had to make another account in order to open up a ticket.
No.
I sent the screenshots and of the emails by Sunday morning. This was Saturday. This was all Saturday evening thus far. By Sunday morning, they saw my ticket. They started an investigation. They started the process of returning my money. They saw it. They looked at it. They realized that it was fraudulent.
Right.
They started the process of returning my money.
That's a happy ending to a degree. Cause,
this isn't the end. This is this isn't the end.
I was about to say you walked away unscathed. You pretty good.
I mean, this isn't the end. So they somehow messed up access when restoring my account. So that took some doing because, like, the second account that I opened got mixed up with the old account somehow, and separating them, and that took a little bit of time, but they got that straightened up.
Right. So
as of Sunday morning, I saw the pending return transactions in my bank account. So as of Sunday morning, I saw the pending return transactions on my bank account. Cool, right?
Yeah. No.
Well,
Fire.
Monday comes. The returns are still pending. Tuesday comes. The returns are still pending. I realized that I had a doctor's appointment Tuesday. I just changed doctors. More on that later. So I had this appointment that I have to pay a copay for. I have a couple of accounts with this particular bank. They had money in them. The problem, though, I can't transfer the fucking money to this account for obvious reasons.
Because somebody gonna take that shit.
But I seem to recall,
bruh.
But I seem to recall a time when I could put my card into an ATM and have access to all of my accounts. This was Wells Fargo. Now, in my area, the Wells Fargo ATM locations have gotten a bit sparse over time.
Wait a minute, bro. I've been around your neighborhood. That's the hood, and we have a bank account. That's crazy.
So I had no idea where the closest Wells Fargo ATM was. I put it in my GPS. It was like 8 minutes away. Cool. I get there. There's a blank screen. But the place where you insert your card still had the little green light that, lights up and whatnot. So in my panic about the entire situation, I think to myself, maybe it'll wake up once I put my card in there. Nope. So I put my card in. Screen didn't come on. Pressing buttons, I hear the noise coming from the machine. So I hit the cancel button. I hit the cancel button. It gave me my card back. I'm like, shit, I just wasted 10, 15 minutes. I used my GPS to find the next closest Wells ATM that happened to be a branch as well as the ATM. I start driving there. Then I realized it's getting really close to my appointment time, and this route is taking me past where my appointment is. And this is a new doctor. I don't want to be late for the first fucking appointment with the new doctor, blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, Discord. So I just decided to use a credit card to pay for the appointment and stop in the actual bank after I get out of the appointment.
Right.
So after the appointment, I walk into the bank. I tell the teller I was hacked with a different company, not Wells Fargo. My Wells Fargo account was not hacked by this musical asset company is the one that was compromised.
Yo, how much you want to bet the elements that motherfucker stole? He probably made a fire.
You stupid. Actually, maybe, because here's the thing. it's weird. I feel like the person who did it wasn't buying somebody else's shit. I feel like they might have been buying their own shit. Because it was too quick. The timestamp on the first email that said that the login was successful to the email that said that the account had been deleted didn't seem long enough for you to buy all that shit, download all that shit, and so I kind of feel like
I have a few things swimming around in my head, but what would be the reasons he would buy his own shit?
I don't fucking know. Free money.
Oh no, actually I do get it. Money.
Mm-hmm.
See, he got shit up there. Ain't nobody buying the shit. He's like, oh, I can do this scam here where.
Right.
Okay.
So I walk in. Yo. So I walk into the bank, and I tell the teller that I was hacked with a different company, not the bank itself, and the returns are pending now, and I had a question or two about the process. She looks at me for like 30 seconds. Then she tells me to wait a second. She hops down off of her chair. She walks away. She comes back about 45 seconds later and says, "One moment." A little bit later, a lady walks up beside me and asks me to come into her office. Now, listen, ma'am, Miss Teller.
Miss Ma'am.
At any point, the first hold on. Okay, give me a moment. I'm gonna talk to the branch manager.
Right.
The second, 1 second. Okay, I've talked to the branch manager. She's about to assist you. No, none of that. Hold on. 1 second. Nigga, what are you? Anyway, so the lady comes out, grabs me. This goddamn teller. Anyway, I digress.
So wait a minute. What did you tell her?
Shut up. I'm talking to the lady, and I explained what happened, which the teller did not give her the right story. The lady goes into my account. She sees the activity. She tells me that it looks like the other company has done all the right things, and the money will probably reflect in my available balance by the morning, and I would not have to pay any fees for the transactions. So, all right, cool. I leave, and I forgot to take out some cash while I was inside of the fucking bank for the next day because I was going to happy hour. So I go through the drive-thru.
Oh, damn.
Go through the drive-thru, and that feature that I was talking about earlier wasn't fucking happening. I don't know if the bank has removed the feature or if it doesn't work because I turned off the card that the other account is attached to, but the ATM wouldn't let me take the money from the other account. But it would, interestingly enough, I've never seen this before. It did let me take money out of my main account that was at a negative $300 balance.
Huh.
It just, the caveat was that there had to be money. Okay. The caveat was that there had to be money in that account by the next day. And I'm like, oh, well, the lady just told me my shit going to be there by tomorrow. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Cool, right? No. Wednesday comes. The returns are no longer pending. They aren't anything. They are nowhere to be found. But you know what is there? The fees for the fraudulent transactions. So, I email the other company and tell them this, and they look, they double check, and they said everything should have gone through. And if for some reason it hadn't by the 30th, then I would have to send them my card statement in a downloadable PDF form, and they would address it with their accountants. Meanwhile, the biggest thing that I was trying to avoid in this situation was my direct deposit coming through and this situation not being resolved yet. My direct deposit hits on Wednesdays. So at this point, that was dead. Also, on top of all of this, my registration for my car is due this week. I dropped the ball on this. My old registration renewal date was in November. Somehow, when I got my new tags, no, not even when. Somehow after I got my new tags, I just found out. After I got my new tags, at some point, for some reason, my registration date changed from November to September. Which it's crazy. I had everything set up to pay everything with the registration and everything by November. And the only reason I realized that it was due this month and not November was because I'm slightly paranoid when it comes to Murphy's Law. So once I saw that my account was in the negative, I just thought to look at my license plate. And sure enough, the sticker says 9/2023 and not 11/2023. So I took care of most of that Wednesday. And of course, my direct deposit hit before the returns went through. The good thing is I can use my account again and move money around now because I'm not going to be losing fucking money by doing so. But the bad thing is now I have to be more active in watching and making sure that the company I got hacked from and my bank does right by me.
Yeah, and this is the other thing, because you got violated by the one motherfucker that broke into your shit and started spending all this goddamn money. Then you get violated another time by them not doing what they're supposed to do, and then you get hit with dumbass fees that you should absolutely not be getting.
So now I gotta deal with all of this shit now.
Yo, bro, you literally did all the things they say you're supposed to do, and something like that happens, and they still ended up trying to, I don't know, bro. That shit crazy.
Still ended up being a fucking headache and a half.
Yeah.
So all the returned money had been cleared by Thursday, but since it was an extra day than expected, I got hit with the overdraft fees. So I went back to the same branch I went to Tuesday on Friday in hopes that the same lady was in there and that she remembered me. That's exactly what happened. She was in there. She remembered me. She removed those charges. That was good. All right. So we often get on here and fuss, but I always like to be that guy that gives. Nah, nigga. We often get on here and fuss, but I always like to be the guy that gives people praise when they deserve it, right? I'm never going to get good service from someone and have the feeling, oh, that's just what they were supposed to do. That's just not how I'm wired.
Nigga,
Yeah, that's not how I'm wired. Now, to be clear, though, when I say good, I mean above average.
Yeah.
I don't mean the bare minimum.
In other words, you brought my food to the table.
Right. Like, no, I don't mean bare minimum. If I need to call you for some reason, average service would be just me getting what I need taken care of.
Sure.
Things that are good would be like being nice, being personable, etc. Like being helpful.
Belly dancer or my car. I got locked out of my car and you helped me.
That's super over. What up, cuz? That's super over. So every major person, like every person involved in this process, except for that fucking seller. Every other person involved in this entire process, from the company representative that I was emailing back and forth with, to the lady at the bank who took off those fees, to the 3 ladies I had to talk to get this situation with the registration renewed.
The Norn Queens. Yeah.
All of them were pleasant. They were all especially helpful. None of them gave me the I hate my job vibe.
Right.
So big ups to all of them. Last night, the reason I'm so fucking tired. So last night, actually, should I start with the?
All I know is this school saw that shit right away.
Hey.
Like, yo, what? What the fuck?
So, we went to karaoke, and this was like the first time. Well, barring the fact that this was the first time one of my homegirls met Chrissy's homegirl, But outside of that, this is the first time that all of us actually got together and went out since like June.
Okay.
And that's not typical. Generally, we try to do once a month. But every time that we've tried to do it since June, something has happened. So that was fun to be able to do that. And the issue is karaoke ends at 2:00. And because I didn't realize my registration was expiring this fucking week, I didn't get it taken care, get all the things taken care of that I needed to take care of leading up to it. So I was up against the clock. So since I was up against the clock, I didn't realize this at the time, but my thought was I could either pay online and get the 1 year extension, or I can go to the MVA and get the 2 years. Like, it would behoove me to get the 2 years. The problem is I won't be able to do it until Saturday, and I'm not going to feel like driving out there by myself. Right. So I told Chrissy, like, hey, listen, I'm going to need you to stay here so you can go with me. The problem with that was she was her homegirl's ride home. So after we left karaoke, I then had to. Karaoke is, everybody ain't gonna get this. People that's from Baltimore are gonna understand. Karaoke is in Fed Hill. Chrissy's homegirl lives basically in Towson. So at 2:00 in the morning, like 2:30.
Oh my!
We left Fed Hill to go all the way to Towson.
Crazy.
And drop her off, and then drive all the way back here. And then, because I've talked about it several times on here, I'm not that person that could just go in the house and go to sleep from driving. Because driving, I have to be alert. Yeah. So I need a wind down. So with the registration thing, the MVA closes at 1:00 on Saturdays. So, because the show exists, we had to go before.
Really? Hold on.
I mean,
now, one of the questions we tend to ask in the comic book is, are all realities both true and false?
Yes. So, since the show exists, and it was so last minute, realistically, if it wasn't so last minute, I wouldn't be in this position. But since it was so last minute and the show exists, like, all right, we got to go before the show. So, from leaving karaoke at 2:30 to go to Towson and then coming back here and then getting in the house and then having to wind down, I had to be up early enough to make it to the MVA and back before, like, bruh. Yes, Mike, actually. That is an accurate statement. I'm going to have to say that the logic checks there.
Well, see, the way I see it, when Napalm entered the chat, when Discord entered the chat, the shins began. Then Napalm comes in, Anand's begin. Then here comes Mike with the begins. So
right.
Now all the shenanigans.
Oh, just plethora of shenanigans. So yes, Discord called that shit as soon as he hopped on. That is why I'm so fucking tired right now. But to the new doctor thing. So my job's insurance was through like Blue Cross for 90% of the time that I've been here.
Everybody went to Blue Cross. Well, most workers.
Yeah.
My experience. Blue Cross. How is that though? Because
my experience has always been good. My experience has always been good with them. But 3 years ago, we switched to Kaiser. That lasted for only 2 years, and then we went back to Blue Cross. When that happened, when we switched to Kaiser, when we switched to Kaiser, I had to get obviously a different doctor because Kaiser don't do outside doctors.
Sure.
So by the time we switched back to Blue Cross, I had to get an even newer doctor because again couldn't use Kaiser's doctors.
You said even newer doctor?
Like I couldn't go back. No, I couldn't go back to my old doctor for some reason. I can't remember why at this time, but I couldn't go back to my old doctor, so I had to get a new one.
These rules are really garbage.
Hey, that's stupid. In the past 6 months or so, like when I first got this doctor, everything was great. In the past 6 months ago, my experience with this doctor has gone to shit.
Oh.
It started one day. I needed a refill on one of my medicines. I submitted it through the pharmacy. Now, leading up to this, I spent a while thinking that my pharmacy was just trash. Because when I'm running out of a medicine, I will go to the pharmacy's website and request a refill. It was explained to me that if it was out of refills, the pharmacy would contact my doctor.
No, that's how that's supposed to work.
I know. The pharmacy would contact my doctor and get it situated. This wasn't happening. What would happen is, if I was out of fucking refills, the pharmacy would give me that notice that they would have to contact my doctor, and then the 2 days would pass or so, and then I would get a notice or a call from the pharmacy, you have to call your doctor. So, again, I just assumed that the pharmacy was trash, so I switched to a different one. Same issue, same company. So, but I just thought I thought it wasn't a company problem. I thought it was a staff on hand problem. I thought it was that location was the issue. No, switched to a different one. Same company, same fucking issue. So this particular time that I called my doctor after that happened, I wasn't getting an answer. I don't know if I talked about this on here. It was a couple months ago, but basically the doctor took a week off and did not inform his patients ahead of time. Nor was this fact like on an answer machine. I had to physically go to the office and there was a note on the door. Ever since then, I've had issues getting in contact with this doctor's office. Like, I would have to call 3 or 4 times just to get an answer. The last time I actually had an appointment, there were several, a couple, like 1 or 2 new people. So I don't know if this practice is just going through some type of restructure or whatever the case is. Right. The final straw with this doctor was a couple weeks ago. I ran out of refills on 2 of my medicines. One of them I was completely out of. I put the order in online. It did the same thing where they said they would call my doctor. Then a couple days passed, and I get a call from them saying I need to call my doctor. Okay, I call my doctor. They don't answer the first 2 times. The 3rd time they answer. I told the lady I needed that refill. She said they would put it in. That was a Friday. Sunday, I realized I was running out of the other medicine. I went to the website to order more. I saw that I didn't have any refills yet. I put the order in. On Monday, the prescription for the first medicine still had not gone through.
Damn.
I called my doctor again. This time I only had to call twice to get through. Oh, we moving on up. I asked again for that first prescription. She said they will put it in. That was Monday. Tuesday comes. I get the message from the pharmacy that I have to call the doctor about the second medicine. Mind you, the prescription for the first medicine still has yet to go through. I didn't get a chance to call the doctor Wednesday. Thursday comes. The first prescription still had not gone through. I called my doctor. It took 3 times. I told them I needed a refill. I gave her both medicines.
Right.
Friday comes. The prescription for the second medicine went through. The first prescription is still not there. I called my doctor 4 times. No answer any of the times. At that point, I immediately found a different doctor. Okay. I changed my PCP on my insurance. I canceled the upcoming
PCP.
Shut up. I canceled the upcoming appointment that I had with them. I set up an appointment with the new doctor. Fast forward to that appointment. I specifically looked for a black doctor. Because I wanted a black doctor the first time, but none in any convenient areas were accepting new patients at that time. But this time I actually looked up. I found one still close to me. I get in there, all black staff. Immediate upgrade from the previous doctor. They in there laughing and joking and having a good time and whatnot. They all friendly. There are jokes being told. There was a delay because the insurance company had long wait times because she got called to make sure that I switched everything right and blah blah blah. New patient. Once we got through that hiccup, it was time for me to pay my copay. Now remember, I didn't have access to my bank accounts, so I used a credit card. I gave them a credit card. The credit card that I happened to give them was one that me and my mother share. When they ran it, they assumed this was the only bad thing with the new doctor. When they ran the card, they assumed that the billing address, yes, that the billing address was my address. And when they tried to charge that card with an incorrect billing address, it set off a fraud alert.
Damn it!
So my mother texted me like, "Did you try to use the card at the doctor's office?" I said, "Yeah." This was before I knew. This was before I knew what they did wrong. I said, "Yeah." She said, "Okay, let me go ahead and let them know." And then the lady came back to me. "Oh, is this your billing address?" No.
Hold up, did she say it that way?
Kinda, because she realized she had fucked up. She realized she had fucked. Is this your billing address? No, it's not my fucking. Oh, no. Why wouldn't you ask that first? What? But outside of that, that was the only hiccup. I got all that situated. They did, again, new patient. They did the full physical and all that other good stuff. Did an EKG, all that other everything. I did this first doctor's office I've really been in outside of Kaiser because of how big their fucking facility is.
Right.
First doctor I've actually been to that does all their tests in office. So I was able to do my blood test there. They took the urine sample there. Also changed my fucking pharmacy to a different company, not to because no, we're not dealing with all that shit no more.
Nah, I feel you with that. Time it's a cleansing.
Yeah, completely clean slate.
Yeah,
get all that shit. Plus, I like this company. I like this company more because of how because I have both companies. Fuck them. We can say it. Walgreens, the Walgreens that's right near me. They have a drive-through for the pharmacy, but it's terrible. The CVS,
I gotta say, Walgreens ain't shit.
Nah, nigga.
With that,
nigga.
I had an incident myself trying to switch over from a pharmacy that's from the old neighborhood to one that's just down the street. And bro, these motherfuckers, man, it was whack, yo. It's corny.
Facts. Discord, I had never heard of that fucking artist in my life. I would never have bought anything from them. Yeah, I when I looked at the email, I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, what? Anyway,
what if it was Kanye on some bullshit?
You stupid. Shut up. So like I said, the Walgreens that's by me, their drive-through situation is shitty. The CVS that's by me, their drive-through situation is kind of amazing. Like I had to pick up somebody's medicine. I can't remember who. I had to pick up somebody's medicine once, and it was at the CVS right here, and I just went through the drive-through, and it was just pleasant. It was just simple.
This was a CVS.
Yeah, the CVS.
Oh, man, I know there's a CVS.
Yo, your entire audio went out after you said CVS.
Oh.
There we go. No. This bit's back gone. Say something.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there we go. We good.
Hold up. When I said CVS?
After you said CVS, your audio just went out.
Yeah.
Shut up, nigga. So all of my all of my tests and everything came back. Everything's good. But that's the other thing. So
that's good.
I haven't had that update from my previous doctor. Like, it's everything, like, For him to start off so good. For my experience with that other doctor to start so good, it's crazy how much downhill it went and how quickly it happened.
Yeah.
I get in this new doctor, I get all this shit taken care of, I get this full checkup. All of my shit look good. When I say all my shit, I mean everything. Everything looks good. And it's like,
it's good to see. That's good to see when everything that could have went wrong was going wrong.
Facts.
Then once you go through that little rough patch, you get some shit that I needed to see this.
Yo, it looks like it's not. It's a very short sample size, but it looks like I made the right decision.
We'll wait to see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because this is still the American healthcare system. And,
yes. Also, I still have a fucking vitamin D deficiency, but who the fuck
too.
doesn't? Yeah, who doesn't? Right. They talk about, they got a, see, all right, so when I first found out I had a vitamin D deficiency, it was with the old doctor. He gave me, this was a red flag. Man. Yo, this was a red flag that I didn't even think about. It didn't occur to me as a red flag at the time. When the first doctor that I'm talking about, the one that I left, when he diagnosed me with the vitamin D deficiency, he gave me a prescription. When I went to, and I don't see, that's the thing, both of them so fucking trash, I don't know if it was Walgreens' fault or his fault. Right. But I went to the fucking pharmacy and tried to fill the prescription and couldn't fill the prescription. They're like, oh, for this, you got to just buy what's on the counter.
No, nigga, this is bullshit. I literally get...
Now hear the difference. Hear the difference. Wait, hear the difference. So that was, I had the appointment Tuesday and then did the blood and urine and all that other shit. She calls me Friday. Hey, Mr. Davis, just calling. You did your test this week. Doctor wants you to let you know everything came back fine. The only thing, you have a slight vitamin D deficiency. I have sent the prescription over to the pharmacy. It is, and this is the key difference. I haven't picked it up yet, but this is the key difference. Right. It is a pill that you only take once a week. Right. And when she said that, I'm like, that sounds right.
I wonder. No, seriously, because a lot of people I know are coming up with these vitamin D deficiencies. And I'm wondering, I'm going to have to ask some folks that I know that move to sunnier, warmer climes, who are outside all the time. Because that's what sunlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Did they have one before they left, and how is it now?
Right. Maybe I need to go on more vacations.
I'll be going outside.
Maybe I need to go on more vacations. I don't know.
Well, I would argue that is probably the medical solution for a lot of shit.
Facts. No, you're right.
Right? Look, even Danny. Even Danny.
Facts.
Like, come on, bro. I know a lot of people, and I know Danny go outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Go outside.
Yeah, it's just so far the experience has been night and day. And I have no reason to not believe that it can remain that way. Excuse me, but yeah, that was how the week had gone. So everybody knows what time it is. It is time for Am I the Asshole? All right.
Yes.
That's fine.
That's preemptive.
Oh, that's an interesting one. This first one seems to play with double standards. That's that is the top tier comment. That is a top tier comment.
They good as shit.
Facts. It's not even. Oh goodness, that That's perfect. Perfect time. I'm trying to find it. There we go. Ooh. Got some spicy. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Am I the asshole for telling my wife I don't care if she likes beards? The reason I find this,
this is a
headline...
Married with Children. Go ahead.
Bruh, the reason I find this headline particularly intriguing is because it deals with a potential double standard. So let's see what happens. My wife and I have been married for going on 10 years. We met in our mid-20s and are now in our mid-30s. When my wife and I met, my facial hair, admittedly, was patchy. But as the years have passed and I have aged, my facial hair... I mean, he was in his mid-20s. Leave him alone. But shut up. But as the years have passed and I have aged, my facial hair is now full. I have always wanted to grow a nice long beard like the masculine men I saw growing up. I always admired it. Throughout my relationship with my wife, I have normally kept just scruff on my face, but I have also told my wife about my desire to grow out my beard. Her reaction is always to tell me who...
You going that far?
What? No, her reaction is always to tell me, typo. Her reaction is always to tell me that's gross or you need to shave, you look disgusting. This has now happened enough times. Bruh, this has now happened enough times that I finally blew up and said, babe, I don't give a fuck if you like beards or not. So, am I the asshole for telling my wife I don't care about her preference on my beard? Listen, my guy.
You can't say that, bro.
Hold up. Wait. In general, I agree with your sentiment. In general. However, if I'm receiving feedback like you need to shave, you look disgusting.
That's pretty bad.
Bruh.
So, here's the thing, right? The reason, remember when I experimented with the full beard thing? Mm-hmm. I hadn't done that in a while. Back when I was a Muslim, of course, I had full beard. But after that, I just went to a goatee and whatever.
Right.
Experimented with it. I liked it for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But it was uncomfortable. My wife, against her skin, it was uncomfortable. So I had to say, well, I'm just going to wop and still keep my...
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying?
It's funny. It's crazy how shit just works with us. So, on top of me having an anecdote similar to that, the first comment, not the asshole, since it's your body, but don't be surprised if kissing you is off of her agenda. She has her rights too.
Wow.
Here's the thing about that. I got called a douche. An asshole, if you will. Because, shut up. Because there was a young lady who I was dealing with, and what's the best way for me to say this? Shut up, Paul. There was a particular practice that she participated in when we started dealing with each other.
Oh.
That she decided to stop participating in.
Oh.
And I informed her that if you're not going to continue to do that, then I'm not going to do something that you might like me to do.
It's the tit for tat for me.
It's not tit for tat. It's the same thing with Yetta. She don't like the way it feel. And you were gracious enough to be like, it's not that important. No. Let me go ahead and get rid of it.
I liked it, but...
Right.
Look. Nigga, this 14 years.
Nigga, you had the mindset of, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Cost benefit analysis. Let me go ahead and get rid of it, right? You had the selflessness because there wasn't an actual reason why. Yes, Discord, correct. You didn't have a specific reason why you were growing the beard. It was just a thing.
Well,
and it was cool. You liked it.
It was just a thing. Also, I thought it was cool when we did the little music video. Whatever.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, you know. So.
Yeah, 100%. It was a cool aesthetic for you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was just a cool aesthetic for you.
Just a cool aesthetic. Like,
and it impinged
prescription.
It impinged on your wife's comfortability.
Yeah, and I like to be in my wife's face. So
absolutely, that's what I'm saying. So I was called an asshole because
that's true.
that's the thing. She did not say, "Oh, you need to shave that shit. You look disgusting."
She did not.
Like what? And to be clear, I ain't say that shit either. That's not what I said. Her response. You don't imagine how wild that would have been, nigga. But her response was the weird. This was the weirdest hill to die on, and she admitted later that she was wrong. Not in her decision. Her decision wasn't what was wrong. The way she handled the situation was wrong. Her immediate way of handling it was to be defensive, and her claim was, "I'm not a little girl."
So you're not a little boy,
nigga.
Why do we keep saying things that apply both ways, but acting like it only applies one way? Why are we doing that,
bruh? So yeah, that. Eventually, we talked about it later, and she apologized for how she reacted to it. And I told her, here's the thing. This isn't tit for tat. If this is something that you feel like you want to not do, I'm not asking you to do it. I'm just telling you that if you don't do it, I can't.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
But anyway, let me see some of these other comments. Actually, I'm pretty sure universally this person got not the asshole because when your wife responds to you in that way, not the asshole, but you have to understand that it could lessen your intimacy, particularly if you wind up having bad beard hygiene. Food, sweat, dirt, all get trapped in there, and some guys are really bad at maintaining it because they feel it's just like washing your face. Having a luscious beard takes work, a lot of work, and oils, and she might...
That part right there.
Yeah, it's work.
That part right there. Motherfuckers don't realize that shit, but
yeah.
You know, I ain't gonna hold you. I was kind of glad to not have to deal with...
Yeah, I get it. Blah blah blah. She might just find it repulsive to have hair pressed against her face. Beard can often feel like a lot of pubic hair, depending on the hair growth, and that's, quote, gross to some people. Then again, some women love men with big full beards. So if you grow a beard, you might just wind up needing to find a new wife. If she finds it unattractive, don't get all weird if she doesn't like.
Damn, they probably just
being
intimate.
She might just not be into it. Don't pressure her, but you have to figure out what you want more.
Yeah, but at the same time, the disgusting comment, like that needs to
It's a bit more. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. Right? You could have expressed that sentiment without going that far.
Disgusting though, like it's one.
But disgusting.
Disgusting is it's pretty.
Disgusting is wild.
Again, this reminds me of that Married with Children episode where Steve Rhodes went on a business trip, came back with a stubble on his little beard. Marcy was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're home, Steve. Go home, do what we do. After you shave your beard, blah blah blah." He was like, "Shave my beard? Nah, I plan on keeping this. I kind of like the way it looks." She was like, she laughed. It was like, "You're so funny, dear. You're gonna cut the beard." You go, "No, this is a man's face is a man's face." And of course, Al got involved with the whole shit because he made a deal with Peg, a contest saying, you know, she's gonna like Peg was basically saying that Marcy was going to run all over him. He was going to cut that beard. And Al was like, no, he's not. It's a little injured that could. And they got in their business the whole fucking time.
Oh.
And eventually, Marcy used her feminine wiles to get him to cut the beard.
Bruh, at the end of the day, you can make whatever decision you want about your body. However, when you're in some type of relationship with a person, you have to consider that they can make whatever decision they want in response to you doing whatever you want to do with your body.
Yeah.
Mike says, not the asshole, but I think it's time to think about ending the relationship. If you don't give a shit about her opinion and she don't like your face, I don't know, guys. It sounds like a rap. Listen. I ain't gonna hold you. To be fair,
he said, "I hate your face."
She kind of, yeah, bruh. Like, she handled it wrong. I think that's the reason why he's getting the overwhelming, not the asshole. Yeah, because she handled it wrong.
What he did too was he broke the stoic that a lot of men try to unsuccessfully keep. Like that was an emotional response.
Oh yes.
I don't give a shit.
Right.
He broke the stoic, and now
Bruh. All right. That's facts. Yo said they y'all were divorced and she started dating somebody with a freeway beard directly. Yo, Paul must be stopped. Next up, am I the asshole for laughing at my ex and her husband for asking to have our daughter for another month? For some context.
Say that again?
Am I the asshole for laughing at my ex and her husband for asking to have our daughter for another month? For some context, I, 46-year-old male, was married to my ex-wife, Ida, 46-year-old female, for 21 years before she cheated and remarried to her now dick of a husband, Dan, 48 male. We have 4 kids together.
It's funny that his name is Dan, and then he referred to dick.
I mean, we have 4 kids together. Henry, 28, Zach, 26, Cam, 25, Rory, 15. The situation only really involves Rory. Since my boys... Shut up. Since my boys were teens / young adults when we divorced, they got to choose who they lived with. Rory, on the other hand, didn't. I have Rory most of the time.
Where did Miles stay?
I don't know. Since I have Rory most of the time, I pay for her schooling. Medical, extracurriculars, etc. While Ida and Dan get her every other holiday, I don't really pay for stuff. And really don't pay for stuff. Well, for the 4th of July, Rory went over to Ida and Dan's, then stayed there until about a week before school started. Damn. Rory confided in me that the whole time she was there, she couldn't really do anything fun and was stuck watching her younger siblings while Dan and Ida went out. She told me she felt like a babysitter more than a daughter, which hurt my heart for Rory since she was really excited to see her mother. She also told me she'd like to stick with visits again and not staying for a whole month or 2. Well, about 2 nights ago, I got a call from Ida. She seemed happy and started talking about Rory and how she liked it there. She continued to ramble a bit before asking me to ask Rory about staying another month. I laughed, which caused Ida to be mad, and she hung up. Dan texted me calling me an ass for laughing at her, and my brother said it was kind of mean to do. Am I the asshole? No.
I don't think so.
You were protecting your daughter.
Yeah.
It was a laugh of derision. The laugh, I get her feeling a way about you laughing at her face. Absolutely. Right. I get that.
Yeah.
But you also on some bullshit.
Yeah.
You want some heavy bullshit. Like I personally don't have an issue with asking your child to help babysit every now and then.
Every now and
not then. To make it their fucking job.
It also depends on the age difference too.
Right.
But yeah, like it. Listen, that is fairly common.
Yeah.
Where you'll see that. It depends on how long they're watching the kid.
Mm-hmm.
How the age difference between them two, how responsible the kid is. But that should not be something that is their main.
No.
Yo, and I truthfully, I have personal experience with that. I don't know if you can call it personal because I didn't have to do it, but I literally watched somebody I care about have to do that shit.
Yeah.
And I thought it was bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
You shouldn't have to do that. Like, it shouldn't be your job.
Right.
Like, once in a while, okay. But this being a predetermined constant, no.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely not. That's ridiculous. First comment, not the asshole. When someone says something laughably ridiculous, you laugh. It was a natural reaction, and I don't blame you one bit. If I had to guess, she probably believed that since she and Rory probably didn't get along, nor have the same relationship you and Rory have, she assumed Rory didn't tell you anything about being their babysitter. Oh well, looks like your ex hasn't given up her penchant for lying.
Apparently.
Not the asshole. Protect your daughter. If she feels that she doesn't want to go there anymore or wants to restrict her visits because of her mother's actions, support her in this. You are doing the right thing by your child, and that is all you need to do.
I am 100% in favor of that. That's all I'll say.
I mean, it ain't.
All I'll say on that.
Let me see if I can find somebody calling this person the asshole, because I just want to see. Oh, they exist. Small, you're the asshole. You laughed at your ex for asking to spend more time with her daughter. Well,
No,
see
we're not
why
doing
you
that.
laughed. I think you recognized it was an asshole way to behave.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
the reason why
that.
we're not doing that is because there was a reason. Like he laughed because you're not taking advantage of this kid. Like, what are you doing? So, like, come on, you're taking advantage. You are. You're an adult.
You are asking if you're the asshole for laughing when your ex asked you to ask your daughter if she'd like to stay another month. She asked you to ask your daughter if she wanted to visit again. Your response was laughter. I don't care what these other comments say. You sound bitter and you sound like you're taking pride in this little victory. You're the asshole. You could have just said you'd ask Rory, but
you know who the asshole actually is? That person. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because one of the first things the person did in their comment was talk about what everybody else said. If this, just give your opinion and keep it going, B. Don't fuck off. You're in the minority opinion on this. Deal with it. But you don't have to mention nobody else. You're the asshole.
Facts. Let me see.
And I think you being contrary just for the sake of being contrarian, but
Yeah,
no.
That's kind of what it feels like. You're the asshole.
Keep going. I can hear you.
You're the asshole. LOL. Yeah, that was kind of rude. It happens sometimes, so no reason not to apologize for it. Doesn't mean you have to give. These fucking typos. Doesn't mean you have to ignore your daughter's wishes. As far as the sensible, albeit inappropriate chuckle is concerned, not a great way to handle problem solving vis-a-vis child care, but it is a pretty mild infraction. All right, I ain't so mad at this one. I still wrong. Not wrong. I still disagree, but I'm not as mad. It's not as egregious as some of the other ones. Yes, you're the asshole, not because you're wrong, but because you laughed at her, and that's a childish and idiotic response. Is your kid's mom, like it or not, this is somebody going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. Act like an adult. You could have just said no. There's no need to be childish. Strictly speaking, yes, you're the asshole. All right, I like this one. Just because it can't be serious. You're the asshole for naming a girl Rory. Okay, I think that's funny. Yeah, you're an asshole. It's rude. Also childish. You have adult children who are probably more mature than you. Yikes. You're the asshole. Roy's mom has no idea that there is a real problem. Instead of talking it through with her and co-parenting, you laughed at her like she is a massive failure, and it's funny. I kind of feel like she is a massive failure, and it's funny. Like, maybe I'm bugging. I don't fucking know. Let's see. Let's go to this one. Okay, next one. Am I the asshole for asking my son to stop eating like a dog and to leave the dining table?
Wow.
So, wait. Okay. I'm a 51-year-old male. My son is 16-year-old male. Well, obviously male because I said son. Has a bad habit of smelling his food before he eats it. As in, he would just bring it up to his nose, sniff at it before eating. We have asked him multiple times to not do that, and that is really bad table manners. His excuse is that smelling the food just makes it better before eating. Today he did the same thing again. We were having dessert, and as expected, he brought it up to his nose and began smelling it. I lost my temper as I have told him umpteen times before to not do that and asked him what he was doing. He said nothing, that he was just inhaling the scent. I reminded him. I reminded him and asked whether he forgot that I had told him about it. He looked rather irritated and said it's none of my business how he eats. I mean, I told him that it's my house and that if he wants to eat like a fucking dog, he has to leave the dining table. He looked shocked and left without saying a word. My wife thinks I was out of order, but I was just frustrated at how disgusting this habit is and how he doesn't seem to care, despite us telling him so many times before. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
I believe they dug in his ass.
Yeah, you're the asshole. You're doing way too much. That's not eating like a dog. Shut the fuck up.
Bruh.
Look away if it bothers you. Look away.
They added an edit. He lowers his head onto the plate and scratches his nose while smelling. Sometimes he does bring it up to his nose. He likes to do both occasionally.
I think he had that to make himself not look bad.
Right. You're the asshole. Wow, you need to just calm down. Many people sniff their food before they take it.
They really do. That's not
because it smells good. Why does it bother you that much that he likes the smell of food? You're the problem here, not him. I mean, yeah, you're the asshole. You really need to see someone about your anger. Facts. You're the asshole. Sounds like he has sensory issues or something. That's possible. And you don't give a fuck or lack the basic knowledge on sensory issues and how strong the urges can be. Well, like pretty obviously he does, or else he wouldn't do this every single time he eats. Use your brain. You're the asshole. For your information, most of the taste of the food comes from smell. That's true.
That's facts.
You're the asshole. I have no idea why this is getting under your skin so much, but maybe it's worth giving yourself a time out and thinking about it. What you said to him was verbally abusive, and you should apologize. That is facts. Yeah. You're the asshole for being so dramatic. What exactly is so disgusting about
that's the other thing,
your
bro?
Food? Hey,
that's not what he was extra. That was extra as fuck.
You're the asshole, and you need to enroll in anger management classes as soon as possible. How dare you abuse your child like this? How dare you break their spirit this way? Who do you want them to grow up to be? The fact that you can't see how horrendous your behavior is tells me that things in your home are absolutely horrible. Don't be surprised when your children move out and never call or come for visits. I'd like to add, and when you end up in a nursing home.
You end up in a nursing home and nobody come see your ass and they over there stealing your fucking money.
Bruh.
And you're pudding. You gonna be mad.
You're the asshole. I really don't see what's so rude about someone smelling their own food. It's not like he's shoving it up his nose or eating with his face in a food.
I was about to say, like, is he putting this shit on the floor and going over there?
You sound like you have anger issues. Last comment on this one before we move to the next one. You're the asshole. This is a weird thing to get all upset about. you've never smelled delicious food, smelled a drink before tasting it, or enjoyed the aroma of cookies or brownies before eating them?
Come on,
Do you breathe in the smell of fresh coffee before taking the first warm sip? It sounds like your son enjoys food, enjoys the smell of it, and is savoring eating it instead of just wolfing
That's
it down.
what it sounds like to me,
There's
too.
nothing at all weird or disgusting about what he's doing. If anything, he sounds like a professional chef in the making. His taste buds might be affected, and being able to smell the aroma of the food might actually help him taste it better and digest it. His olfactory glands might not be working that great from the
Okay,
inside.
so some of these people are reaching with some of those factors.
Yeah, it's a little it's unnecessary. The reach is unnecessary.
Yeah,
this person is a fucking asshole. Like
that's it.
That's it. All right.
Even at his son for enjoying his food.
Yeah, like what? That's weird. That's really, really, really weird. Am I the asshole for telling my wife that I'll be taking the kids to visit their grandparents on Thanksgiving weekends?
Wait a minute, say that again?
Am I the asshole for telling my wife that I'll be taking the kids to visit their grandparents on Thanksgiving weekend? Bear with me, as this is my first time using Reddit. Okay. Yeah, I'm a male, 41, have 6 kids from 3 different relationships. With my wife, Olivia, 38, female, of course, wife. I'm just reading what's on the screen, guys. That's it. Shut up. I'm like the motherfucker from Anchorman. I read whatever's on the screen. So, I have 2 kids, male 7, female 5. With my ex-wife Emma, who's 40, I have 3 children, female 10, male 10. I mean, male 8, female 6. And from my ex-wife, Sophie, 42, I have 1 child, male 12. I have maintained very good co-parenting relationships with Emma and Sophie, and even though we're separated, I consider them to be very close friends. All my children live with their mothers, and since we all live in the same city, they see each other regularly. The kids are close to each other and consider themselves normal siblings, which has also made things easier. Recently, I've been planning to take my children to visit my own parents, male 75, female 71. They both recently retired, and I think they're starting to get bored with staying at home most days. So I thought seeing the kids would cheer them up.
Wait a minute, did he say recently retired?
Yeah.
And they're in their mid-70s?
One's early 70s. One is mid-70s.
America.
Yeah, it is.
Y'all good with that? Seriously, y'all good with retirement being that late in age?
Hey.
Like you do realize the life expectancy,
right?
2 years after that shit.
Yeah,
right.
I think they're starting to get bored with staying at home most days, so I thought seeing the kids would cheer them up. And the kids are more than happy to see and get spoiled by, of course, their grandparents. My brother Brad, 37, is also
check out the big brain on Brad.
I mean, is also going with his wife Samantha, 35. And their 2 kids, male 6, female 4. So the kids will get to see their cousins as well, which is nice. I planned a date with my brother and parents, and we decided that Thanksgiving weekend, which is next weekend in Canada, works best for all of us. While Emma and Sophie are all right with the idea of me taking the kids, Olivia is not. When I told her about the idea this morning, she told me that she wanted us to go out for dinner or something over the weekend since we hadn't gone out in a while. She only expressed this to me after I told her about the plan. When I mentioned that the kids wanted to see their relatives, as they all expressed interest in the idea, she said that I needed to prioritize spending expected time with her over entertaining my extended family.
You said what she said.
I asked her then if she wanted to accompany me and the kids to my parents' house.
I was about to ask that.
And then we could find some time to go out, but she refused this proposal. I was a little annoyed at this stage, so I said that I thought she was being difficult and not willing to compromise. We argued for a bit, and then she said she had to go to work. Before she did, I reiterated that I'd be taking the kids to my parents. Am I the asshole? Bruh, hold on. Because this is one where apparently they ripped his ass to shreds, and I don't quite understand why. Let me read context. Forgot to mention earlier, but Olivia was aware of the planning process. He did say that. He said that. But anyway, during this time, she seemed fine with going with me and the kids to visit my parents. Once the plan was finalized, she indicated that she'd rather stay in and that we could go out for dinner instead. Update. I'm glad to report that the situation regarding Thanksgiving weekend. Okay, I'll read this before I get to the comments. Just the situation has been resolved. He had a more constructive conversation with his wife late last night so that they could work out a plan that works best. As some of you thought, it turns out Olivia was feeling exhausted between work and childcare and wanted the Thanksgiving weekend to be a nice, relaxing time at home where she and I would go out to dinner at some point. Since all the kids want to go on the trip, my parents, brother, and his family are expecting us. We've decided that I will be taking the kids to visit my parents while Olivia stays at home and gets some rest. Once we return from the trip, I'll be taking Olivia out to dinner on Wednesday night. I've already made reservations at a restaurant she likes. Olivia not coming and handling 6 kids on my own did seem pretty daunting. Unfortunately, Emma will not be able to join and help us out since she's visiting her sister over in Manitoba. Sophie, on the other hand, is available and graciously accepted the invitation when I extended it to her. So she'll be traveling with us and helping me with the children. I'm incredibly grateful for her help. She's amazing. For now, it looks like everything has turned out well, and we're all looking forward to what should be fun. All right, I gotta get to these comments because I have to understand why the fuck. Yeah. Also, I'm sorry. Be fucking consistent. Be fucking for real. What do you mean? This isn't time. You need to prioritize spending expected time with her over entertaining your extended family.
That's weird.
These are his children.
Yo, when I heard that, I thought that was weird as fuck.
Bruh, the idea of the nuclear family, which we've talked about several times on here, is mother, father, children, right? Yeah. The people that he's talking about spending time with are his mother, father, and their children.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not extended family.
No, that's family. Period.
I'm really confused.
These are his kids. And
right.
His mom and dad. We not doing
his mother, his father, their children, his children.
Yeah, like
I don't understand. What? Weird. But for some reason he gets ripped to pieces. So I need to see. Let me see.
I guarantee you this. Whatever you're about to read, it is so far diametrically opposed that I don't think none of that's going to be. I don't foresee you going, oh!
Right.
I don't see that.
Okay, you're the asshole. You seem to want the same arm's length co-parenting relationship with your wife as you have with your 2 exes. What?
Where'd you get that? See? This is the problem, bro. These motherfuckers will invent parameters and factors out of whole cloth and then apply it to the situation. Like, why would you even? Nah, bro.
She is your family and should be part of decision making and planning, especially for holidays. This doesn't mean you need to check in on how you spend every moment of every day, but full day plans on the holiday weekend are something you should agree on together before you finalize arrangements with everyone else, and especially before you tell the kids. What if she had, at the same time, made plans to take the kids to her parents or the zoo or to visit other family? Even if you only look at it logistically, you need to adjust your expectation. Here's the thing.
No, but didn't she already?
They contradict those two paragraphs contradict each other.
Yeah.
If he needs to include her in every plan that he makes, then that second paragraph doesn't exist because that would mean that she didn't include him in plans that she made.
Right.
So no, it don't work. That's that. No, that don't.
Like, they promised you got to be homeless.
Bruh, like,
and this goes right. She had plans. Staying home.
But here's the thing. In the event that she had the plans to take her crotch root to see her parents, then he still can do the same thing he planned to do, just minus those 2 children. He still got 4 other kids. Like, what?
Which addresses something else that Disco said. But you having all these kids, all these different ass people.
I mean, hey, listen. Next one, you're the asshole. I have a feeling we're missing a lot of context here, but based on what you're saying, your current wife is telling you that she wants to spend more time with you because she's feeling neglected, and you responded by telling her she's being difficult.
Is that what you got from what she did?
And not willing to compromise when you're not willing to compromise. And then at the end, you told her you'd be taking the kids away from her on the major holiday with or without her. I hope wife number 4 doesn't want kids. Damn.
That was nice.
I think these are overreactions.
Yeah.
Yo, somebody just said, please tell me you got a vasectomy.
Oh, again, back to what Disco said earlier. You having all these kids, all these different people. The fuck?
Remember the thing we talked about? No, that's not it. Remember the thing we talked about where how if you have a certain privilege with your family life, it's hard for you to see certain things?
Yes.
Someone said, how do you have a 7-year-old with one wife and a 6-year-old with another wife?
It's very easy. That's very easy to explain.
No, that does not mean that you cheated on your wife.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't at all.
What? No. Is it possible? Sure. But does it mean that? No.
No.
If y'all broke up, you could have broke up before you found out she was pregnant.
It happens, B.
It happened. But anyway, let me see. You're the asshole for the eye-popping amount of adultery you've committed here. See? here's the rationale. You probably cheated on your first wife because the kids are because wait. You probably cheated on the first wife because the kids are only 2 years apart. Unless the first marriage dissolved within a year, which would be unusual. You cheated on your second wife with your third wife. You lost all credibility for your selfish and immature behavior. It's impossible to believe these relationships are anything close to the normal that you've portrayed and that these kids have anything close to a normal life. Save your money because they're going to need a lot of therapy to repair this disaster.
Right,
it's impossible to believe there's any truth to your side of the story, so I'm not even bothering to read it.
I saw. You didn't read it. See, so now if they get to do that, I get to make shit up too. These are probably not even your only kids. What about that time when aliens came down and abducted you and you got one of them pregnant and shit, and them kids been out in space all this time and you ain't seen them, you ain't seen no child support, none of that shit. Yo, if they can just make shit up out of whole cloth, then I can too.
You're the asshole. So to be clear, you're perpetually unfaithful. You make plans according to what you want, with no consideration for anyone else. And now you're giving orders to your wife as if you're her drill sergeant. The world doesn't revolve around you. Unfaithful. You have no right to make unilateral decisions for anyone, especially your wife. Get your self-absorbed head out of your ass and stop impregnating women while still married to the last mother of your children. Hold the fuck up. Let me read this again. Maybe hold up. Maybe I'm bugging. Let me read this again. All right. With his current wife. With his current wife, he has 2 kids. Mm-hmm. They are 2 years apart. Okay. With the wife before her, he has 3 children. Mm-hmm. The youngest is only a year apart. I'm sorry. Yeah, the youngest of those children is only a year apart from his next 2 youngest.
Wait a minute. Whoa. The next 2 youngest with the current wife? No. Listen. Okay. So
it's infinitely possible that he did not cheat.
Yeah.
Bro. And all 3 of them are 2 years apart. Then the wife before that is 2 years older. The child is one child. It's 2 years older than the oldest of the next wife.
I just want to know, like, why he ain't ever replaced the Walkman for his kids. See,
he's stupid.
I'm just saying, if they just stupid. Coming up with shit, then,
bruh. All right, last one. Am I the asshole? Inconsiderate towards soon-to-be ex. Apparently this one is not safe for work. Throw away pre-disagreement facts. Okay. I, male, 43, and separated and living apart from my wife, 42. She asked for the divorce. We're working with a mediator. No cheating, no mistreatments, etc. She wants a child. I don't. Ironclad prenup, uncontested. After he calls her Jen, obviously, not her real name. After Jen moved out and the divorce started, I started dating another woman, which she didn't care about. Well, she claimed she didn't care about. Okay, Jen decided after a number of years she needed to try for a kid, and we ended up separating. We're generally amicable as we go through the process, but something came up and she's really pissed at me. A few weeks ago, I met a woman, Mia, early 30s, at my local coffee shop and started hooking up with her. No, it's not her real name. Started hooking up with her regularly because the sex is really, really good. Okay, all right. See, yeah, that part was unnecessary. A few days ago, I get a call from Jen asking if I'm seeing Mia, which I find odd because she's not asked about anyone before, and I have no idea how she would know that. Jen included a picture of Mia. So I said yes and asked how she knew and why she was asking. Turns out, unbeknownst to me, they work together. Yikes. In adjacent departments, and they don't seem to like each other very much. Jen asked me to stop seeing her, to which I refused. Her claim is that Mia is intentionally talking about me to piss her off, embarrass her, etc., and asked if I would do it as a favor. Again, I refused, citing I had no prior knowledge, and while I don't want to hurt her intentionally and wouldn't have started seeing Mia if I had known, I am not ending it now, and she no longer gets a say to who I have sex with. Jen called me an asshole for putting sex above her. I disagree. I get that she's upset, but I don't feel like I should have to alter my life around her feelings anymore. So, am I the asshole?
Well, okay, so let me say what you are the asshole about.
Oh, hold on. Edits. All right, so apparently people were asking questions. So these are the answers to some of the questions people were asking in the comments. Mia is also child-free. She had her tubes tied. Mia also lives near the coffee shop. She's a regular, but at a different time of the day. Mia never brings up Jen to me. Never does the am I better than your ex thing. Jen learned of this from Mia talking to her own work friends.
So not even to you.
Someone saw a pic of me and made the connection, and it got back to Jen. Mia never sought her out.
Drawn in her.
Listen to this. This part is important. Mia never sought her out per Jen. Mia refuses to stop talking to her friends about me at work, but it keeps getting back to Jen indirectly. Even after Jen asked Mia not to anymore, per Jen, and this is why she feels she's now doing it to piss her off. I've not talked to Mia about Jen, but am considering it based on some comments, but very hesitant. I actually like Mia the more I get to know her. We have a lot in common just besides the sex.
Listen, he's the asshole for bringing up. I like to have sex with her, y'all. We don't need asshole for that. You're not the asshole for not giving up on her.
Bro.
Finding out all this shit. Like, it's not like she's purposely trying to put herself right in earshot,
right,
and say and talk about the guy. No,
yeah,
other people, third parties coming back, which really is the problem. They're doing the gossiping. They're the ones trying to get you upset by going back and having these conversations with you about what she's talking about. But he better not stop seeing that girl, because he better not. He better not.
All right, this is an interesting exchange. What are you going to do when you find out Mia is doing this just because? I guess this was before he posted those clarifications. What are you going to do when you find out Mia is doing this just because she doesn't like Jen? And then once that power play is over, Mia leaves you and you've burnt that bridge with Jen. I think there's a lot more to the story here on Mia's part. Someone says to him, I mean, they don't have any kids. He doesn't need to keep any bridges with his ex. Somebody else responded. Somebody else responded, I feel like if it's truly an amicable divorce, why not show some consideration to the person you were married to?
Right, and stop living? You know what? I'm going to tell you.
Bruh.
He met somebody. It wasn't planned. This whole idea that Mia was doing some conspiracy to get on her nerves, I find that to be laughable. I also found people to be very weak when they have to resort to that sort of argumentation and shit. The reality of the situation is Mia's not in her face with it. She's talking to her friends. These alleged friends are being trolly assholes, and they're going back and saying something to her to make her feel a way about it because it's probably entertaining on the job. You know, and this is some of the most toxic shit I've ever seen has taken place at a place I worked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But either way, he better not tell that girl to go about her business just because some assholes at the job want to see his ex riled up over some shit.
Yo, this is one of those unfortunate situations where I get the other side, but I'm still not. Yeah, like, so someone says, from how it sounds, Mia may have intentionally sought you out to spite Jen.
Based on what?
If she didn't, she certainly seems to be now. Good sex or not, she sounds pretty petty, and you're allowing her to affect your relationship with your ex.
I need for somebody.
You know how weird that sentence sounds to me? You're allowing her to affect your relationship with your ex. Also, you're the asshole. It's not unreasonable for your ex to not want her private life to affect her work, and this new girlfriend is doing
no,
just
she's
that.
Not. See, again,
she's not though.
This is what I need from these people saying that. I need for you to present evidence of the link that she purposely did any of this, because y'all keep throwing that in there based off of some fucking reality TV show shit y'all watch.
Now here's the thing. I do appreciate this comment because it words it differently. Not the asshole. You guys split up. However, if Mia is intentionally taunting Jen, you should consider her true motive for seeing you. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that comment.
If in there.
Right.
But from all accounts that I'm hearing from him, which is the only source we have of this story is him. He said that that's not what she's doing. She's talking to her other work friends, and they're going back and saying shit. So now, unless you want to say she's telling them to go back and say that again, I'm gonna need some evidence of this link, bro. Y'all are really bad at this.
All right, okay. You're the asshole for hooking up with such a shitty person.
Wait a minute, what?
You're the asshole for hooking up with such a shitty person.
Again, assuming that Mia's doing all these things. Bro, they're horrible at this, bro.
Okay.
Horrible.
Okay. Would you put up with anyone treating any of your other friends this way? Or would you tell Mia to stop using you to antagonize?
Again, assuming this is what Mia's... Bro, they are horrible at this, bro.
I think you're allowing the nature of your previous relationship with Jen to cloud your judgment here. It doesn't seem worth jeopardizing a generally amicable situation. And no matter how easy divorce seems, it's always hard and burdened with disappointments. You're the asshole.
They don't have kids.
They don't have kids.
They don't
have kids. They have a prenup.
So they don't have no property that they both. Yo, I'm gonna need y'all.
Yo. You're the asshole. You are now affecting Jen's professional life. You need to draw hard boundaries with Mia in regards if she wants to keep seeing you. Not to talk about you at work. Jen can use this in court against you as harassment/mental anguish. You're dating someone from her workplace. Do you know how that makes you look in court, and it makes you look to the rest of the world? Yeah, you didn't know, but ignorance is no defense. Mia needs to shut the fuck up about crap she's not involved with and keep her mouth shut about you at work. And you need to tell her to ensure a smooth, amicable divorce. Prenup or not, Mia has put you in a very bad position here simply out of her own spite.
Bro, again, they keep inserting things that we have no evidence for.
Yeah.
And then crafting these, it seemed like a lot of them just want to be able to call somebody an asshole.
Bruh, little bit.
That's what it seemed like to me.
Little bit. Let me see. Is there? Oh crap. What is
exactly, Mike? Exactly. Rejection. Seeming facts, not in evidence.
I mean,
y'all are just saying shit at this point. I might as well be able to do it too. We all should be able to do it.
You're the asshole for letting Mia continually do this. This girl is clearly rubbing it in your soon-to-be ex's face on purpose. Your ex didn't have issues with you dating before, so something really has to be up. Plus, you're not even divorced yet. How shitty is it that your not even divorced wife had to deal with this at her workplace, and you're thinking with your dick? At least tell your fling to have some respect with what she's saying at work.
No. Again, the evidence in question that we have been given is that she's not doing that. The only source we have is him. They're making up shit.
You're the asshole. This is her career. Don't date someone that's hate fucking you to get over on a rival.
Again, assuming facts not in evidence.
Of course you're the asshole. You are affecting your ex's professional life and you're so easily manipulated with sex that you don't care if it's morally wrong or not. You and Mia are both shitty people. I would normally say date who you want, but you have said Jen has been amicable through all of this. Amicable or not, divorce is difficult and now Jen has to go to work every day being taunted by an adult bully.
Again,
you are allowing
facts,
it to continue.
not in evidence. Objection.
I'm glad Jen is getting away from you.
Your Honor, object.
Yo,
see, they make up shit, put it in there, and then say and go off of it. But you know what? I'm not surprised. I see that in a lot of shit.
Oh, thanks. But here's the thing. The argument that she didn't have. Clearly, Mia must be doing something because your ex doesn't have any issue with you dating anybody else. That is faulty, at best.
Oh, so you found that's you got at least 5 more of those motherfuckers that's faulty.
No, I'm just saying, listen, the reason I say that is because, like, forget about not having evidence, right? Because clearly that doesn't matter. This one's faulty because it is absolutely possible that she's not bothered by the other ones because she doesn't see them.
Bingo. Amigo.
It's absolutely possible. It could not. It doesn't necessarily have to be that Mia is doing anything intentionally. It could just be you're literally in my face because I have to see you, not that she's throwing it in your face.
Also becomes then a personal problem where her perception, she is still feeling away, obviously, about the death of the relationship.
Yeah,
about to get divorced and all some shit. So seeing that maybe brings. Knowing that this is a thing, but the reality of the situation is we have zero evidence to say that this is what Mia's doing. I do think he was being very crass by saying that the reason he's staying.
I mean,
I didn't need to know all of that. I will assume that particular thing. I will assume with facts out of evidence that y'all.
Yes, yeah. There's no reason for me to. Yeah, but you don't prove that one too.
Yeah, but the idea that Mia is going around doing some clandestine Machiavellian shit about that is a reach to me of the. We don't know any of that shit. You don't know any of it. They just add that so they can call somebody an asshole. And hey,
pretty much
calling people assholes is fun, but I actually like to be right with
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. That's it.
We want to once again thank all of you for joining us on another Saturday morning of shenanigans.
Yeah.
Because last week we shenaned and then we came back and did it again. So this is shenan. Yeah. Be sure to check out my man Super Sci Guys, Metas and Mutants, especially in next coming.
Yeah, we about to couple days. We about to do
his Endgame episode. We all come out of his Portals episode. We all come out of portals and shit.
Yeah, facts.
On your left, Sci Guy. Also, don't forget to check out my man Jay the Nerd's channel as well. Go check out the Majestic Comics YouTube channel. If you have not already, there is a new video up there going over some of the creation myths of the Entropics. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out as well. Again, those of you who haven't already that intend to or have some sort of idea that you're going to support the next Kickstarter campaign for the next issue, go and hit this link I'm about to put in the comments so that you can be notified the moment this goes live. One of the problems we have had is extending our reach.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people who have supported us over years simply don't even know when we have these Kickstarters, and it's extremely difficult to combat the algorithm currently for us. So we're doing the best we can, but it definitely helps. Hold on for a second. Yeah, it definitely helps
You sure?
For you guys to get notified when it happens. Also, don't forget to check out Chrissy's Heard It Through the Grapevine podcast as well. Are they still doing new episodes? They got any more new episodes up?
Chrissy! Oh, she's asleep.
I guess that you will. The world will never know. But I'm sure there's some old ones. If you haven't checked them out, go
absolutely.
Check them out. And there's always music. Always assume.
Oh, always.
That there is music. And we're not talking about the music version of Muscat Love. No, we're talking about. We're talking about the greatest hits of Tombstone, The Dead Man, and of course SPJ.
Yeah.
You can find all of those on Spotify. Take a listen, add it to a playlist, share it. All of those good things. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that we need to promote?
I think that's it.
I believe that's it. So, for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone, The Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.